stand trial for murder, it doesn't matter how much money it costs. It doesn't matter how far you have to bring witnesses. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
The judge says he'll be back with a decision on where to hold Colin Gray's trial in about a month. Reporting live, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A deputy with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office is shot in the line of duty. He's now in stable condition.
Deputies responded to a welfare check on an individual, and when they made contact with that individual in the home, he pulled a weapon and shot one of our deputies, wounding him.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says they expect 24-year-old Bryce Maddock to recover. The suspect was killed when deputies returned fire. The GBI now investigating the shooting. No decision yet from a federal judge in Atlanta in the case of 133 international students challenging the cancellation of their student visas. 26 of them are from Georgia. Atlanta immigration attorney Charles Cook says the students want to finish their schooling.
Kudos and bravo to these students for standing up for what their parents sent them here to do, which is to gain a good education.
The government argues no real harm has been done to these students and they could go through a reinstatement procedure. A hearing is set to decide things next Thursday. It is now 3:03. The Von Haessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
Seeing the brake lights filling in, 285 westbound, the outer loop on the north side from Ashford Dunwoody Road over to Riverside Drive, exit number 24. Elsewhere, traffic troopers say 400 northbound getting slower from Abernathy up past the North Springs MARTA station. And if you're traveling downtown, it is already a packed ride southbound from the 85-400 merge down past Cortlandt Street. Northbound slows University Avenue up to Freedom Parkway. Construction continues. Veterans Memorial Highway westbound in Mableton at Floyd Road in a couple of right lanes there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny today, high 76. That's on par for the average high for this afternoon. Lows tonight in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, high 84. Even warmer on Saturday, partly cloudy, high 86.
76 now in Alpharetta, 75 in Mableton, and 74 in Hampton. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
I know everybody's got us worried about that Cicada Brood 14, but I'm here to say, Eric, the caterpillars are out in full force right now. I don't know what's going on with those caterpillars, but they are out right now.
I like the fact that you make sure you throw that R in there.
Caterpillars.
R, caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
They are caterpillars.
Caterpillars. That's right.
English Nick is with us.
Hello.
Do you call them anything weird in England?
Yeah,
just caterpillars, isn't it? Caterpillars. Hey, I thought you were talking about the big yellow bulldozers, the big earth-moving machines.
No, I'm talking about...
Because I know where you live, there's a lot of earth-moving going on because they're still building that community.
They are building so much around me where I live, but the caterpillars out in the park that I'm at every morning, they are
laugh every
caterpillars.
The way you say caterpillars
makes
me laugh.
It's like an old-timey way.
Caterpillar.
Right?
That needs to be the word of the day. I'm saying it right.
Are you real or AI? It sounds like one of those caterpillars.
Caterpillar.
Many caterpillars.
I'm saying it correctly. You guys.
Listen, you're a pioneer in a new neighborhood that used to be actual, the forest or something. And so every
abandoned
year,
warehouses.
Every summer, you get some sort of infestation of an insect that didn't get the word that you don't live here anymore. And so
they've been evicted.
Last year it was what was it? There was some kind of
toads last year. There were all kinds of toads.
Oh, those little red bugs.
You had this you were doing little videos.
That's right. Yeah, the box elder bug. That's what it's called.
Maybe they'll eat the caterpillars.
Maybe they will eat the caterpillars.
And then first the caterpillars will eat the latest brood of cicadas or cicadas, and then your red bug things will eat the caterpillars, And, that's the way it works.
And then we'll be hunky-dory.
That's right.
Thank you for getting rid of them. I've been trying for a long time as a prospector and pioneer.
We tried everything.
We couldn't get rid of them, but now these fancy city folks.
Opportunity. We got rid of them.
So,
we scorched them.
Thank you, Beltline.
You're seeing an invasion of Trump. You're seeing an invasion of caterpillars.
Well, you know what? Somebody has to put up a wall, a big, beautiful wall around his neighborhood to keep these
Send them to El Salvador.
caterpillars out.
But when they become butterflies, Trump, they're going to fly over it.
These ones are going to be moths, okay? If you see a lot,
Who wants
if
a
a
moth?
lot of them are around, you're getting moths. And moths, they eat trees, they eat your clothes.
Not good. They're not.
Not good. They're out at night, really cool, kind of scary. Look as big as bats.
Yeah, some of them.
As big as bats. Have you ever seen them at night?
I've seen them at night.
Ones that
Yes.
are really green. Like maybe those are as big.
I
as
have
that.
Oh, the
never,
Luna moths?
I have never seen one as big as a bat, but I've told this story before. I was driving a car that I bought in Florida back here, and this is maybe 2003 or something, 2003. I'd bought a Porsche, a used Porsche from
The brown one.
No, it was green.
Oh.
It was green. You
Was there a brown one?
when I was driving it back, I got almost got to Atlanta, and right outside of Atlanta, the fan belt, something went, and it overheated, and I was lucky there was a little hotel, and it was like a backwater hotel. I can't remember exactly where I was, but it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, at least I got this hotel. I'll get in there, and it's no name of a hotel that you've ever heard. It's no chain. And I get in the
Vicky's.
room. Yeah, something like that. I get in the room.
Vicky's rooms.
And I'm just about ready to, go to sleep. And all of a sudden, there's a moth in the room. I'm telling you, this thing was like a dragon. This thing was so large.
Mothra.
This thing was so
Like a
large
dragon.
that I ended up getting into a to-the-death fight. I'm not. This was going around the room. I was punching it. It was fighting back.
Can you open the door and not just fly
He
out?
he walks in. He's made himself comfortable. He's got a cigarette and a newspaper.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
This is my
Brandy.
room.
Yeah.
What
are you doing here?
I am telling you, this is the closest thing that I've had.
Want to watch porn?
I know Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky and I are close.
That hotel just double booked. That was the problem. They double booked.
I worked it over to where it ended up inside the lampshade. And then I ended up breaking the lampshade.
Oh, my
And
God.
I killed this moth. And I felt like I killed a person. The thing was so huge. And it was a fight, I have to tell you. It was 50-50 as to who was going to walk out of that hotel
Were you
motel
afraid
room.
of it? Why would you kill a moth? They can't do anything to
It
you.
was a huge. I don't like
Scary?
I don't like birds indoors. I don't like anything
But
that
you could let
flaps.
it. You could have caught it in the lampshade and then released it.
That was not.
He was in panic
He
mode
was
at that
coming
point.
at me, man.
Yeah.
He wanted me. I'm telling you, the moth started the fight.
He
You
had a
guys
knife.
weren't there. Why are you assuming I started the fight?
That moth saw Eric's wallet and was
It was
like,
the
hey, I'm going to
moth.
get that wallet.
I don't know what that moth wanted. Something.
You could have just
Light
turned one
is
light
what
on.
it wanted. It wanted light. That's what
One
it-
light, and it would have gone to that lamp.
That's what happened. That's why I trapped him.
Oh, in the lampshade.
Yeah, in the lampshade. That's how
There
I did
you
it.
go.
And you could say, hey, just leave the door open. If I left the door open, the moth's friends would come in. You think he's not part of a gang? You think
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a backup?
They're waiting.
They're waiting.
He was on. He did reconnaissance. He was like going in to see what it was like.
It was a hot, sweaty
yeah.
Georgia summer evening where there's one large moth. There are many.
He might drop some pollen on the floor. I'll leave the door open for you.
So he was not as large as a bat, but I've seen that moths are very, very large. To pivot to something else, because I just realized we can't talk about large moths for 4 hours.
And the caterpillar invasion. That's
What's going on?
happening.
What's going on with all that?
Caterpillar.
What people don't realize is that this whole story has been an analogy for the political climate in the
That's
United
right.
States.
That's right. I've decided that the show is
The
gonna be-
breaking down of the fan with the fan belt.
Yes.
You know, the pulling over
Mhm.
into a hotel, no
Yeah.
name.
Everything was going well, and then for no reason, the car just dies.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
The moth was El Salvadoran.
That's right.
Yeah, he was illegally here. That moth.
Send it
Flown
back.
in.
Send
He's
it
flown in.
back. Can't do anything about it.
I said to the judge, "Look, I don't know how to facilitate anything here. Look, it was a mistake. I didn't mean to kill him, but
Well, I can't do anything to help get the moth back because he's in another country and I don't make the laws there.
That's right. You don't make the laws
I
there.
know. Look, the laws there are different.
Yeah, you're like best friends with the leader, but he can't do anything.
Well,
No, he does. He won't send them back.
Good acquaintances, maybe.
He's a Moth S13.
He does. I don't care about due process. I don't want those moths in this country.
We're going to send homegrown moths.
Hey, that's very soon.
Someone's doing the mothing.
If you're a moth, you're a moth. I don't care if you came from here or there.
I like butterflies. More butterflies, less moths.
I like that. Yeah. So I didn't realize this. You don't know. You guys said something there that's kind of new to me. You don't know if it's going to be a butterfly or a moth. Is that
No,
how
no.
it-
You know by the caterpillar.
No,
you know.
well, if you know it.
Yeah, if you
Do
know.
you know what kind of caterpillar?
You
You
can
can't
look.
tell by looking at the
Does the-
caterpillar unless you recognize.
Does the caterpillar
can look it
know?
up.
Does the caterpillar know what he's gonna
Well,
be?
of course the caterpillar knows.
Well, they're non-binary. They can choose.
I have to say that there's a story today, and I'm not saying it's not being covered. It is being covered.
I saw it earlier a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think people understand. This should be the This story should be the story, no matter what Trump said, no matter what some judge said about what Trump said.
No
This should
matter how
be-
many women went up to space in a penis-style rocket.
This should be the story that everyone is talking about, and that is that scientists have gotten very close. They believe it's not 100%, but it's very close to 100%. It's closer than they've ever gotten before. And look, when you're studying these things, you might do another thing, more research, and you'll find out, oh, there was a flaw or something. So it's not guaranteed, but it's the most scientific evidence ever that there is life in the universe off of this planet. And I'm not saying it's not being covered. It is being covered, but it should not be the sixth story. This is the biggest story of the day, by far.
Of the universe.
Dana Bash on CNN. It was her kicker to end her show.
Yeah, that's
The
a
story.
kicker. Hey, there might be there might be people like us out there somewhere else.
Side note.
Yeah. Here's a little fun fact to take home. After we've told you about bloodshed for 28 minutes, here's a little fun kicker story.
45 minutes of Trump. Here's 1 minute of space.
That's right.
What's up, Earthlings?
Oh yeah, it turns out that so this is they found the atmosphere of a planet called K2-18b.
Yeah, we call it K420, man.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
It's Planet Hippie.
Yeah,
So they got
you know.
and
Huh?
English Nick came in and he said, "Huh?"
What?
He said- English Nick came in and he said, "Well, maybe we can send them messages or something to go see them." No, they're 125.
I was just copying what Wolf Blitzer
Oh,
said on
wait,
CNN. He's
wait.
like, "Can I call them?"
You guys don't have FTL drives for your spacecraft?
No, we have. We're
No.
we're limited by the speed of light.
I guess we'll see you in 130 years or something.
No, it's about 125 years. It's gonna take
maybe,
us.
give or take.
We do send pop stars to space, though, now.
Yeah.
We're getting pretty close.
Hey, you want Katy Perry?
No, thank you. Put fish up there.
a daisy.
Put fish up there, man. We'll take fish. Yeah.
Like a little widespread panic.
Little Grateful Dead. Are they
That's right.
around still?
Dead and
Grateful
Company.
Dead,
But
Dead
I
and
want to talk
Company.
to this alien about love.
Yeah, your music sucks. Totally sucks.
It turns out to be a planet full of hippies, 125 million light years.
When we go to war.
125 light
Kind of
years.
aggressive hippies.
No, when we go to war with other countries, it's not cool, but it happens.
Yeah,
right?
right, yeah.
We just have hack-offs. So we just like play hacky sack, and whoever wins, that's who wins.
Thank you for
goodness.
clarifying.
Wait,
I don't know what you said.
Yeah, he said
I said
hack off.
hack off.
They don't have an FCC over at K420.
They got rid of it a
We
long
got
time
the
ago.
best weed in the universe.
That's why we're trying to get to know you a little bit better.
Maybe I could send some. If you guys don't have a receiving end of a transporter, do you?
No, we don't. Sorry. How did a planet
You
full of
guys
stoners?
suck.
How did a planet full of stoners get so much?
Because we got
more
everything
technology?
we needed, and once that was done, we just sit back and chill. Robots
Yeah,
do
they just
all the
chill,
work.
bro.
They allowed their creativity to flow, Eric. That's what happens.
Yeah, you know what happens is you don't go to college anymore. You just once you get out of high school and stuff, you just sort of chill. You can be an artist. You can fix things if there's not a robot to fix it. But otherwise, we just get stoned, bro.
I always like the idea that when we think about life and space, we assume. Now, it is true if they came to us. Obviously, they are
more technologically advanced than we are. But we always had this idea that if there's life on another planet, they're going to be so much more advanced than us. But that's not true. It could be a planet full of trailer parks. We have no
That's
idea.
true.
It could be it could be a planet a planet full of some of the most ignorant life forms you've ever come across. It's possible that we are actually more advanced than
We
them.
don't like your kind. Human.
Well, if you think about how long our Earth was just dinosaurs and stuff, or
Well,
even just
no,
like
before-
little amoebas and
Allegedly.
single cells.
All right, hold on. Now, with the dinosaurs are relatively recent, actually,
In the history of the Earth.
because they're like, what, 265 million years ago or something?
Right, but they lasted for so long.
Yeah, they thought they had it. Hey, listen, I think Sting stated it best on the Synchronicity album when he said, hey, mighty Brontosaurus, don't you have a lesson for us? You're God's favorite creature, but you didn't have a future. Walking in your footsteps. That Sting is something else, isn't he?
Stingy, isn't he?
Well, every time I sing, it seems like it brings everything down. I don't know. I've noticed. Am I losing that
It's
beautiful?
just so good. We all stop and need to, take it in.
Yeah.
You can tell me the truth. I'm losing
Those
my
words from an
my-
angel.
no,
That's why I'm just trying to collect what I just heard there.
that beautiful operatic voice that
Yeah.
I've had for so long.
You've left
I
us
liked it.
speechless.
Hey, you liked it?
That's
the alien
pretty
liked
cool.
it.
I might come and get you.
Come get me.
You wanna?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get McCartney.
Huh?
We'll get McCartney as well. And both of us we can't
Good
sing.
Beatles are dead.
Can I come? I'm Katy Perry. I went to space.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't know. I don't follow it enough. I don't. As far as Katy Perry is concerned, what I really know about her is Firework and the halftime show
With the shark.
with the shark. Was it Left Shark, Right Shark?
Left
Somebody
Shark was the one that was off.
a little off.
American
Kissed a
Idol.
girl.
American
I
Idol for a
kissed a
bit.
girl.
Oh,
yeah.
I kissed a girl.
And I
Liked it.
I've
She
not,
was a gospel singer before that.
I have not. She
wrote a lot of songs for other people.
Never bought anything of hers. I've always had you know what? Maybe it's not for me, but I like the energy. Seems to be about
She's
upbeat,
happy pop.
happy.
She's
You know,
fine.
I like that. I get it that she tried this comeback and it didn't work, and people can be critical of her comeback and say, it's not good. It didn't work. Why are people so angry with her? I don't understand.
Who's
that
angry
part.
with her?
All of the coverage. It's
yeah.
Can we send her back to space?
I mean, Wendy's even came out
Wendy's.
and put an
Wendy's.
X post.
Wendy's. Well, I'm a fan
Was
of.
there
Hold on, I'm a fan of Wendy's, but shouldn't you be concentrating on hiring people who know what the term service means
no
rather than getting? They post some kind of snarky thing about Katy Perry. Can we send her back? What is with the? Can't you just go, hey, I think your last album sucked? Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I think it's also part of everyone being upset that they sent these women to space and that these women tried to pretend like they did something really special
Yes.
when all they did was go on a little ride.
And also,
on a bus.
They're on a Six Flags ride.
Yes.
The greatest,
Exactly.
by the way, the greatest fairground ride of all time. Don't get me
But
wrong.
then Gayle King comes out and it's like, she's offended that people are making fun of her, and it's like, this is not a ride. We went to space. We did the same mission that one guy did. And it's like, yeah, but that was special because no one had ever done it before, and you guys weren't qualified to do anything.
And also, this is the 11th trip that's been made in that rocket. So it's not like, not only did they not have any duties, and if you're in a crew, you have some sort of duties. I'm sure they had it's like when you go racing at like Andretti and places like that.
Sure.
Yeah, they'll have a little 5-minute class to bring you up to speed on the track and what you need to know. What you need to know.
I saw a real astronaut being interviewed, and he wasn't, condescending or anything. He said, look, when I was doing it years ago, there was a couple years before you got to go into space.
Yeah.
You had all that training. He goes, they had a couple of days where they had to learn how to get into the seat, and then most importantly, how to get back in the seat once you're floating around up there. And that was pretty much it.
And now
And
there's
then also just the sexy space suits that they all got.
Oh, yeah.
They all were in hair and makeup.
Designed by Lauren Sanchez, by the way.
What?
It was that
great.
suit was
well,
designed by Lauren
Hold
Sanchez.
on. Are you telling me that she actually has some kind of talent?
Yeah, she designed the space suit.
I have talent.
Well, hey, we're the
I could have
newsbreakers.
designed a suit like that. Just make it look sexy.
Autumn's right.
Is it?
Autumn's right there. Form fitting.
Oh, it's not the same suit that Shatner wore on his way up?
No, it was not.
He wore a
No,
sack.
I rewatched that footage right after they landed of Bezos and Shatner talking.
Yeah.
And it's so sad because Shatner's trying to have this like cathartic moment of what he just went through, and Bezos is trying his hardest to listen, but there's like champagne going around.
Yeah.
He's like,
Remember, as I recall, there was an annoying woman.
Yeah.
That's his girlfriend. That was his girlfriend in the background. Like, oh my god.
Was Shatner's or Bezos?
No, Bezos. It was what's her name?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
She was talking like with her friends in the background, laughing. They're passing around champagne, and so like while Shatner's having this like, and I,
It was like death.
Yeah, and he's like, hold on, you want some of this? And he gets the champagne bottle, and he shakes it, and he's like,
Yeah,
spraying
doing
everybody.
the just won an F1 race thing.
Yeah.
She wasn't very human.
I remember at that time there was something going on. I can't remember. That was after they came down? Because I felt like we had
We carried it live.
we had audio from inside it. When they were looking down at the earth.
He was being interesting then. He was like, wow.
It's so vast and dark.
Is he baked all the time, Shatner?
No, he's
just
90.
like, I just know.
No, he's just like
Well, he's more than 90 now.
serious.
He's very intense.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Katy Perry was saying stuff like, "We're putting the ass in astronaut."
Oh, okay.
She said that?
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I get it. She can be annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't.
Okay.
But when did it flip for her? Everybody loved her.
So what happened
Did
was
she kill somebody?
I just did the research here on this last album that came out that was supposed to be her comeback album. One of the main producers of it is Dr. Luke, who Dr. Luke has had a history of alleged sexual harassment in the music industry.
So there's supposedly a feminist type song on there, and then he was the producer.
He was the producer of it, and
And-
Kesha was
Put
super
her in
involved.
jail.
Yeah.
Put her in jail.
And the
You know what?
video
Hold
that
on,
she
hold
made
on.
for that female empowerment song was extremely like mixed message.
Okay.
Is it on
was,
YouTube?
like,
I'd like to check that
Okay,
out.
but
you should check
isn't that an artist's prerogative to have a mixed message? Isn't it? I mean, isn't it?
No, you have to adhere to what the common culture wants.
No, her own mixed messaging though. It wasn't just
I get it, but
societies.
It's I can't. How does someone get angry about that? That's
Oh,
what
I
I
don't know
don't
who's
understand.
angry.
Did she ever go at Wendy's about something before they had to go at her?
I don't think so. Maybe I was
who
asleep
threw
during
the first stone at Wendy's?
the big Katy Perry Wendy's.
No pun intended. Was there a beef there already?
I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I have an 8-year-old little girl who lives in my house, and she's very excited to go see Katy Perry in concert when
I'll
she
bet
comes
she
this
is.
summer.
And
so
she should be.
That's all it should matter.
Well, don't tell her about that whole.
I'm not going to tell her Dr. Luke.
Dr. Luke thing, and she'll jump off that bandwagon before you know it. I mean, are we angry at everybody else who's been produced by this guy? Kind of thing.
I think that
Who says that he aggressed? So is it Kesha that says he did things?
Kesha's the main one because she had her second album produced by him, and when I remember seeing her live after that album came out, and Kesha railed on him for literally half of her concert, saying how bad this guy was.
Oh, that was enjoyable for the
Oh,
audience.
it was
they
awful.
loved it.
It was awful. It was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my
It's
life.
like when Bernie Sanders comes out.
Hello.
Have you seen any footage from the ground? Like we played yesterday. Like a lot of these kids on the ground. What is that old guy up there for? What
You
the hell?
young people are experiencing what a wonderful thing. And don't go to the yurt over there because there's a lot of pornography in it.
I can only imagine what some of those people were on at Coachella when you see Bernie Sanders. At one point, you're probably like, "What am I seeing now?"
Oh, no.
What-
You just think you're just tripping.
It's like, am I seeing
Wild.
Bernie Sanders?
Your eyes aren't deceiving you. I'm 90. But I have the youth and vigor. I'm like Allen Ginsberg at the end of the hippie era.
Alan who?
Ginsberg, you know him. He wrote Howl.
No, how?
A supermarket in California. You don't know that one?
I'm following that influencer, that guy who does the makeup. What's his name? He got in trouble a few years ago at Coachella.
Oh,
Jeffrey Charles.
I don't know. There's nothing.
Jeffrey Charles.
I can't watch a dude apply his makeup looking into the mirror on YouTube enough. I tell you.
James Charles. That's
Yeah,
his name.
it's one of the most entertaining things you could ever imagine.
Guys, you're not using enough foundation.
Exactly what
He's so annoying.
it is. Didn't he like everybody hated him for a minute because of something he did at Coachella a few years ago? I think he was with a brand and there was some kind of thing with the brand. Meanwhile, Coachella, I think you talk about metaphors, analogies. Coachella is exactly the economy of the United States right now. You've got people who are paid to go there. who are making money and who are being put up in the most lavish accommodations.
$10,000 tents.
And then the person who paid $650, hey, they can't help us. They're not an influencer. They're not. Let them sit in traffic. They're standing in line for 2 hours to take a shower.
It's going to be
at Coachella.
It's going to be so interesting because Coachella's got their second weekend this weekend. I know I'm going to tune into the live stream. I want to see the difference in the kind of crowd that's out there this weekend compared to last weekend.
It'll be a little bit better, but still not as good as the good old days when people went to music festivals to hear music.
Spring storms can produce flash flooding with heavy rain flowing around your house and into your crawl space. And rainwater trapped in there will provide the perfect breeding ground for mold. Hey, this is Christina Epwords. Mold not only produces that stale, musty smell, but it can also impact the air quality in your home. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will encapsulate your crawl space, keeping it dry and preventing mold from forming. AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to GetWindowNation.com for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 4 windows, get 4 free, plus no interest for 2 years.
News is temporary, but your financial plan shouldn't be. I'm Wes Moss, and at Capital Investment Advisors, we're focused on helping retirees invest for income. This means building and managing a portfolio that delivers a steady stream of income, regardless of the scary headlines of the day. If you're ready to shift your focus from the headlines to your core pursuits in retirement, reach out to our team at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR wealth.com.
Tara Fine Jewelry Company, your engagement ring specialist in Beaufort, only 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia. You'll love their larger, high-quality diamond engagement rings, always paired with 5-star customer service. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Beaver Direct Certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with the industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at BeaverToyotaComing.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top story: students run for their lives after a shooting today on the campus of Florida State University. This student woke up to sirens.
These loud, blaring, like deafening sounds from the speakers in the dorms. They start going off and they start telling us, life-threatening emergency. We start freaking out, in the rooms here, and then we get a text that there's an active shooter. And I mean, it was a shaking, really scary event.
There are reports of multiple injuries, 1 person in critical condition, 5 others serious. There are reports of at least 1 suspect in custody. The shooting happened near the crowded Student Union around lunchtime. A Barrow County judge will decide in about a month where to hold the trial for the father of the alleged Appalachia High School shooter. At a hearing today, the defense for Colin Gray argues the trial should be moved due to publicity about the case in Barrow County. Prosecutors say the trial should be moved no further than neighboring Walton County due to the costs of moving a trial. A Paulding County Sheriff's deputy is recovering after he's shot responding to a welfare check today at a house in the Brookside subdivision.
And when they made contact with that individual in the home, he pulled a weapon and shot one of our deputies, wounding him, and the other deputies fired back.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says the suspect was killed. The injured deputy is identified as 24-year-old Bryce Maddock. He's in stable condition at Wellstar Kennestone Hospital and is expected to recover. The South Fulton Police Department mourning the loss of Lieutenant Helio Garcia, who was killed in the line of duty this week.
In the 39 years I've been doing this job, I've lost a lot of friends in the line of duty. And certainly none hits harder than this one.
Chief Keith Meadows says he knew Lieutenant Garcia well. He is the first South Fulton officer killed in the line of duty. Police identify the woman who struck Lieutenant Garcia's vehicle head-on as 31-year-old Centauria McLean. She is in critical condition. It is 3:32. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
Good afternoon, Bill. Travel advisory into Suwanee. Crash 2 left lanes, 85 northbound before Highway 317, exit 111. You're stacked up already back to Sugarloaf Parkway. Delays will get worse there. Jump over and use Satellite Boulevard as an alternate. Hero just pulled up to a stall in Clayton County, 75 southbound Forest Parkway, exit 237. It's in the center lane, but they're going to move it off to the right shortly, but it has stacked up the ride out of Hapeville. And you're slow through downtown, getting close to a half hour out of Buckhead for the ride southbound to I-20. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunshine today, high 76. Lows tonight in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, high 84. Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, morning low 60, afternoon high 86.
78 in Palmetto, 74 in Decula, 75 in Doraville. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
This is Scott Slade, and I'm ready for air conditioning season. Ragsdale Heating and Air has already checked out my system, so I know it's right. Get to know the good people at Ragsdale before summer arrives. Right now, you can take up to $1,700 off a new Carrier home comfort system. And that comes with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. And if your current system just needs some attention, take advantage of Ragsdale's $79 AC tune-up offer. You can trust Ragsdale for plumbing and electrical work, too, when you go to RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
Now open at 54 Bullsboro Drive, Home Outlet Noonan. Break up with your big box store and discover a better way to tackle home improvement. Employee-owned Home Outlet delivers the guaranteed lowest prices on a wide selection of quality in-stock kitchens, baths, floors, and more. Take advantage of our free services, including expert kitchen planning and accurate estimates for baths, floors, doors, and windows. Shop in-store or online at homeoutlet.com.
Home Outlet is your home store.
Get out of here, CC. I got a show to do, for heaven's sakes. All right, I see him there. You've heard him already. He's got his 420 Fest trucker hat on, so let's do this.
It's English Nick with Toodle Pip.
Toodle Pip.
There we are. You're here to pip some toodles for
I
us.
am. Yeah, you've seen the videos of what's going on with the Minecraft movie, right? All the teenagers throwing their popcorn and their soda. One even brought a real chicken into the theater somewhere.
So what I've gleaned from
a real chicken.
Okay, that was never a good idea. From what I've gleaned, there's one particular scene in
Chicken
this movie,
jockey, yeah.
and it's a boxing match or something.
Yeah,
between
where a guy's riding a chicken.
Okay, and for some reason, this has been turned into a Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of moment.
Yeah.
And basically, things are out of hand because it's America 2025. And so nobody that's doing what they're doing ever thinks, hey, somebody's got to come in here and clean all this crap up before the next time they show it. So my understanding is some cinemas are actually saying, hey, if you want to do that, we're going to have a special showing. Didn't they do that with the Taylor Swift movies? Like the
Were they bringing chickens?
No, they would.
Yeah, the chicken.
Because some people kept standing up and singing to the songs. They say, look, if you come Saturday at 3, everybody can do that.
The matinees were sing along.
Rather than saying, hey, kids, you want to do something, but we're adults that you hate, and we're telling you that you can't do it, and we have the power. Oh, you don't like it?
Well.
Shut up.
Let them have fun.
Hey, kids, you got to respect the person in the theater that you've never met before and will never see again. Hey, kids, there's a way to act in public. I have no problem if they go in knowing this is one of those showings that, whatever. But I do have a problem with somebody deciding this is about me and my experience. And really, as far as I'm concerned, the way that I was raised, I'm the only person here.
Jack Black showed up to a theater on Sunday and put out this warning because it's happening so much.
For today's presentation of a Minecraft movie, please, no throwing popcorn, and also no lapis lazuli, and also absolutely no
lapis lazuli.
Chicken jockeys!
He shows up.
He's got his pickaxe.
That's cool.
And they weren't throwing anything in that video. They
Right.
behaved themselves when Jack Black came in.
Of course.
But basically, Jack Black and some movie theaters have said, all right, enough's enough. Calm down with this.
Well, I know that I don't think you have to be as harsh as I was just saying, but there's really, I mean, when I was 10 years old, the two words "anything goes" were not a part of my life.
No.
In anything.
I saw
anything.
the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco posted a video. He's like, have you seen this? What's going on? He goes, if my teenage kid goes to a movie theater and throws popcorn and soda everywhere, guess what? He's not going to the movies again.
That's exactly. That's right. Hey, listen, when you're 18, there's a lot of things you're going to be able to do again. Going to a movie theater, that's one of them. Once you're a man. I mean, can we have any sort of decorum at all? Or is it just we're in post-modernism and there are no standards for anything? This life is about you alone. You do what you do, and don't worry how that affects anyone else. It makes you a better person when you start thinking about, how do my actions affect somebody else? I know that I'll like it, but am I going to ruin that person's day? Doesn't mean that you will make the decision not to do it, because the pros and cons may go another way. But it just seems to me that is not something that anybody thinks about anymore. I am here. I am me. I have been told I'm special. And so my needs come first. And then you've got 330 million people who all believe their needs come first. That's all you need to know about the chaos going on in this country right now. And it starts with, you have to discipline. I think children should have wonderful lives. I think that children should have 10 years of pure innocence. All of that. But you're not helping your children have better lives by having zero discipline, zero rules, zero standards. And the parents are like, yeah, go do whatever you want. Me and Dad going to smoke a joint. We'll come pick you up and
Chicken jockey!
Because you know what? Me and Mom and Dad haven't grown up yet. So listen, if you will have fun and leave us alone for 2 hours, go do whatever the hell you want. Go do it. I remember my oldest was like 16, 17 years old. They were at a movie theater, he and his gang, his friends. And, some kind of thing started between him and, what the guy who worked there. The guy who worked there was probably like 25 years old or something. And my wife comes to me and she's like, at one point he pushed him up against the wall and had his hand on his shirt and pushed him up against the wall and threatened him. And so we got to do something about this. That was my wife's point of view. We got to do something about this. My point of view was, well, what the hell did he say to the guy? What was he doing? I know he's like 17 and he's with all of his other buddies who are 17 and they're in a movie theater. So my first instinct was like my parents' first instinct would have been, what did my kid do? What could my kid have done to not get in this situation? And I kind of say, nah, step back. Because my words to my son were, you just learned a lesson. You think you can just mess around and mess with everybody, but if you do it enough, somebody punches you in the face. And so rather than me coming in, I'm not going to go to that theater and say, who is this person? No, I want you to learn that lesson. You can't just do anything or say anything, because at some point, someone's going to punch you in the face. And that's not fun, especially when they're 25 or 26 and you're 17. So, no, I'm not going to step in as a parent and be all outraged. I'm going to say, you learned a lesson. Put it in your back pocket. Know it. Take it with you for the rest of your life. And that's the way, if something broke out at a school that I was in that was some kind of problem, and I wasn't a suspect, I swear I have a memory of my mom picking up the phone, calling the administration and saying, have you thought about my kid? It's quite possible. I know him better than you do, so it's quite possible that he was involved in this. But now it's the whole other way around, and the kids know it, right? They know that your parents are now your lawyers. You know, it's like, oh, you mess with me, I'm going to lawyer up.
Not going to mess with my little angel.
Yeah.
Can they even get in trouble anymore or suspended or anything like that?
Yeah, kids get suspended, but suspension has always been a thing, especially if you're like a latchkey kid like I was. Like, what's suspension? I get to stay home by myself and have fun and do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, if Ellie knew what suspension was, I'm sure she'd be a way worse kid.
Yes. So, look, I'm not saying people shouldn't have fun, but you should know by the time you're 10 or 11 years old that you can't just take your Coke and start spraying it all over the place. It's a lesson you have to teach your kids. You have to teach your kids that when they don't wash off the plate when they're done, what they're saying is, I'm too good for this and somebody else should wash my plate. If you don't tell your kid, if you don't explain to your kid, when you're done with pancakes and syrup and stuff, it will take you 3 seconds to wash off that plate. If you leave it there, the person who has to wash it next, they're going to need a Brillo pad in 5 minutes to get it done. So just do it. And start teaching your kids, yes, you are important in this world and you have agency, but your actions have consequences. And it's not always, consequences don't always mean what's going to happen to you in return. It means somebody else. What you're saying when you throw a Coke around is, I'm better than the person who has to clean this up. Now, I'm not saying a kid understands that when they do it, but that's what adults are here for. To say, well, this is what happened. And this is why people got angry at you. Not, oh, let them have fun. Sure, let them have fun. But for years and years and years and years, children had fun in this country without destroying a movie theater. I had plenty of fun growing up doing kid things. We never, oh my goodness. I can't imagine my father finding out that I did something like that.
Maybe this is the way to get people back in the theater, though, Eric. If you allow kids to rampage it, that'll get people back in the theater.
It's grossed $560 million.
It looks like it's a brilliant
Gotta get people in there, so it's gotta get people in the theater.
No, that's why Jack Black. That's why you're hearing him. They're riding a fine line. They're saying it's fun, but don't. They're not being like me, all authoritarian dictator like. No, shut up,
have
sit
fun
down.
and see the movie.
But they're like,
you've watched that movie. You will never play Minecraft again.
So my kids are going to see the movie tonight.
Yes.
I'll let you know. I'll ask how it went.
Do you have a chicken?
Is Dad taking him? Is Dad taking him?
Yeah, Dad's taking him.
Is he hands-on in those situations, or does he kind of let him
Oh
go
yeah,
crazy?
he gets like intrinsically embarrassed.
Okay, that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Jared has brought this up. That's the problem. Parents of young children are not enough of them, like your husband, who get intrinsically embarrassed. If you're intrinsically embarrassed because your kids are running around the pizza parlor and ruining everybody else's night, you're going to do something about it. If you're not intrinsically embarrassed by that, then you just let it happen and you don't care. And once the kids see you don't care about the effect they're having on other people, why should they? Why should they? All I know is my dad was not somebody who beat me up or anything like that, but I just can't imagine. We went to restaurants. I sat in my chair, man. I was not messing around, and he didn't have to beat us every night to make that happen. It was just we just knew he was not going to put up with that.
He just had to look at you, right?
Just had to look at. Well, and he'd go too far as well. Like the time he left us.
Really far, like
and
when he left.
far away, just left and never came back. It was that. But sometimes it would go too far. If I could, if I could talk to my dad now about it, you'd think that I'd be talking about him leaving us and stuff. I wouldn't. There was this one incident. We were at a restaurant. I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and we got a Coke or something in front of me, and I was, I used to use my hands while I talk, just like I do now, and I knocked the Coke over. We'd only been there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And the waitress comes over as you would, oh, don't worry, I'll get you another one. My father, no.
Oh.
He's got to learn a lesson.
Oh, no.
So it would go too far. But on the other hand, he didn't have to, beat us up or anything to get the point across. We kind of knew. He said it, we do it.
about a $1,000 pickup?
Win $1,000. 5 different keywords. 5 chances every weekday.
I just won $1,000 on WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Beginning Monday, April 21st.
Download the WSB app. Rules and info at WSBradio.com/cash.
Storm season is bearing down on us, and that means power outage season is here too. Dave Baker here for Brightbox Electrical. Being stuck in a dark, hot home as storms start to fire up is no fun. That's why my friends at Brightbox Electrical, a Coolray company, are now offering $500 off a Generac home standby generator, and if you purchase now, you'll receive a 2-year maintenance and monitoring plan for free. So don't be left in the dark or the heat. Visit brightboxelectrical.com to schedule your appointment.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
EMC Security.
Meet EMC Security's hero of the home.
After some break-ins in my neighborhood, it got me thinking about my family's security. A friend recommended EMC Security, so I called them. Now I have peace of mind that my family is safe without having to sign a long-term contract.
Way to go, Sarah. Be the hero of your home with no contracts, fast and reliable monitoring, and rates as low as $16.95.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403Bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Cheap exterior paint sounds like a deal, right? Until it chips or flakes and you find yourself repainting your house in a few years.
So that cheap paint isn't so cheap after all. More paint, more labor, more of your hard-earned money.
Or you could save thousands of dollars over time with Rhino Shield and never paint again.
Rhino Shield won't chip, flake, or peel and stands up to anything Mother Nature can throw at it. Rhino Shield can even make your house more energy efficient.
Rhino Shield, stop painting, start protecting. Visit rhinoshieldga.com.
All right, English Nick, our time is short, so if you have more toodles to pip, I would start pipping those toodles right about now.
I do, and talking of time, this is going to save me a lot of time, even though I'm not sure if I'll be alive to see it. The proposed $20 trillion tunnel that could get you from London to New York in 54 minutes. So this is like the Channel Tunnel, Channel,
and this
but
would be
under the Atlantic.
All the way from New York City to
London.
Yeah, okay.
Elon Musk is behind this.
I'm not a big flyer, you know that. I don't. So there's something about this I would like.
But you're underwater.
You get there. Yeah, I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna trust that this tunnel is gonna hold out all the way from New York City to. I mean, at some point there's gonna be some. I mean,
earthquakes.
Yeah,
It's almost 3,500 miles.
But when you're on this Hyperloop, you're only on it for 54 minutes. So
I know,
mean,
but somebody's going to be on it when the damn thing cracks.
But isn't that every like bridge or tunnel that you go under?
It is,
a
but
river?
this is one tunnel that is what? How many miles?
3,500 miles.
Yeah,
But if Jared's
3.5.
saying it's only an hour that you're in there, it's like it would have to be right then.
That's what I'm saying. Is you're taking, but somebody's going to be in there when it happens.
But they probably
That
said
could
the
be you.
same thing about aircraft when they
That's
put
true.
them in the sky.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's only an hour, but just the knowledge that the entire ocean is on top of me. I don't know, man. That would
Oh, it's
freak me out.
creepy to think about.
I'm
even
kind of
riding-
claustrophobic.
Even riding like Eurostar going from the UK to France, it is a weird feeling knowing that you're under the English Channel.
Yeah,
going up. It's a
See,
weird,
I don't
weird
think
feeling.
I would get on that. I don't like planes, but I don't. Maybe it's just I'm acclimated to planes and all that. Just something about. How long does it take the tunnel? What's that, like 30 minutes? Well, not like 15.
I'm not exactly sure. I've never done the tunnel.
Well, it's not a
Yeah,
hyper.
it's not long.
It's not like this.
Because
How fast is this going to go?
Well, very fast, obviously.
I guess you could do the math with 3,000.
It's a Hadron Collider. That's,
Yes.
It's a,
Oh.
So we may
It's
actually.
just really big.
We're actually going to be. They're going to put you inside of the Higgs boson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the teleport.
speed
into
of light.
London.
The trip, when I was a kid, the trip across the English Channel on a ferry boat was 4 hours.
Okay.
So it can't be that long on the
Yeah,
And
on
also,
the train.
the tunnel is not some kind of super fast thing that they're
No,
talking about here.
the way they designed it was it's two of the closest points of land to each other, meaning like it's the closest point
Sure,
of France.
well,
and
you
it's
would
to
do
the
that
UK.
with
When
any
it was
kind of bridge.
1435, it took us 16 months.
Yes.
If there was a storm, our boats would sink before we could get to Calais.
Before, not even
Not to
mention
mention the sirens.
the Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken
calling
was
us
there.
to the sea.
There'll be a whole new immigration problem once this thing opens.
Oh,
let me
I know.
tell you.
Yeah.
The Brits will be trying to get in New York.
Trump will be waiting. Just put you back in.
No.
Send him back.
Put 'em
Turn
back.
around.
Well, are they British? Are they real British? They can stay.
Yeah, you love the royalty.
I love them.
Love the royalty. Yeah, it seems.
I'm
like,
all about it
how
as
do you
somebody who
build
goes
these
to England
things?
all the
I
time.
think it's interesting.
There's no tunnel that's ever been built that long. That's all. Geez, how do you even
Well,
build
maybe
that?
on planet K2 18b, but not on this planet.
No, not. By the way, that's K420. We found out.
We have transporters, bro.
But yeah. You guys
Way more
just,
efficient.
You guys just imagine yourself being somewhere and then you're
Well,
there.
yeah, you have to get in a thing. But,
Yeah.
A thing.
You guys are still on wheels, man?
yeah, look at these wheels.
What are you, like, little kids?
They're
That's
Earth
hilarious.
people. Don't make fun of them. They're Earth
So how do you?
Oh, shoot. I forgot they're real sensitive.
There's so you would drill down obviously, and you would start on land somewhere, and you
Yeah.
find a point that's always completely, whatever that far underneath the ocean the whole time. And can you imagine working on this thing for
They'd have to build it on land.
for the 30 years that?
Oh, no, they build it underground.
No, they build it underground. You ever
They
see
drill.
that?
They
You ever
drill.
see that machine they have? You ever seen how they make these tunnels?
Yeah, but the ocean is deep.
Yeah,
No,
that's
but
I
what
know,
I'm
that's
saying
what
is-
I always think about. Like when I
Right.
go
Start there.
like in Maryland, I have to go in the tunnel
Yeah.
like through Baltimore.
No explosives.
And well, sometimes I bring them.
She likes dynamite. What are you gonna do?
Careful,
Just be careful.
But I always think like, how do you start building this?
Well, right. Well, and I think,
Like you got to start somewhere, and then it's like, oh, there's water coming in. Huh.
Yeah. No, it's, so you're kind of right. So you start drilling on land, and then you go
Yeah.
down to the level that you're going to build a tunnel in, and then you start there from probably what the station will probably be like 7 miles inland or something like that.
Yeah.
You start there, and then once you reach the level you're going to reach, then you start going across. But it's got to take a decade to build this
It's
thing, right?
engineering feat.
So these people are going to be under the ocean, and then you're like 3/4 of the way, and you're working under. Oh boy, that's,
Atlanta can help.
They're going
We-
to lose their eyesight. They're going to evolve to not need eyes.
We have Driller Mike. We'll send Driller Mike to come help out.
Driller Mike.
Yeah, Driller Mike's the one that made the big connection here on the west side with all the.
Are you just trying to throw in some ATL pride
I'm
into
just
this
saying,
story?
like,
Is that what
it's-
you're doing?
it is a
Ladies
drilling-
and
No
gentlemen,
Driller Mike,
a round
Eric.
of applause. A round of applause.
Driller
for,
Mike
Well,
helped our water system on the west side.
I think it all depends on which side of the Atlantic they start, right? Or where they meet in the middle. Will the Brits come one way and the Americans
That's
go
how
the
they'll
other?
do it.
And,
bang.
and when they cross
right.
over the other side, will they start using the metric system?
Oh yeah. What do you do with
Oh, I
electricity?
know.
Are you on
know.
50 watts or are you on
Oh,
60
man,
watts?
we need a converter.
Is it aluminum or aluminium? We'll find out.
English Nick.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
very
the
much.
one. Thank you.
Are you the one I'm thinking about?
Yeah,
English Nick?
English
Well,
speaking.
yeah. Nice to see you.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries of most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Joe Salciha, host of the Stacking Benjamin Show. We are diving into what should be in your little emergency go bag. What goes into your financial go bag?
Passport, driver's license, social security card.
Cash, credit cards, my wallet.
The most important thing, your master password.
OG just gave us the guns. That's all he needs.
Meaning the bicep.
Come and get them. You never knew personal finance could be this fun. What's a big can of Colt 45 cost?
Stackers Anonymous. Is that about $3.50?
That's what I
Dr.
need in
Pepper.
my go bag. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
404-793-0000. 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Atlanta.
Don't miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 free sale and pay nothing until 2027. Sale ends soon only from Window Nation. Schedule your free estimate now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
News is temporary, but your financial plan shouldn't be. I'm Wes Moss, and at Capital Investment Advisors, we're focused on helping retirees invest for income. This means building and managing a portfolio that delivers a steady stream of income, regardless of the scary headlines of the day. If you're ready to shift your focus from the headlines to your core pursuits in retirement, reach out to our team at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR wealth.com.
Okay, so you're working in the yard, but you're one bale of pine straw short, which means another trip to the pine straw store. You need a Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Dave Baker here. With your lifestyle, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect vehicle for you. It has plenty of room to haul stuff for work or for play. Plus, it comes with the Beaver benefits: lifetime powertrain warranty, free oil changes, premium roadside assistance, and more. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming. It's the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show. See more at beavertoyotacumming.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top story: gunshots on the campus of Florida State University.
I didn't think this could happen at Florida State. I mean, we're a pretty safe campus.
Students in shock. There are reports of multiple injuries, 1 critical and 5 are serious. This student describes the scene as the shots are fired.
It was like a couple people running, maybe like 12 or 20 people running out of the direction. And then I looked back and I saw everybody flooding out of the Union and everything. And that was probably like a couple hundred people trying to get out of there.
Another student hears the speakers blaring in the dorm, saying there was a life-threatening emergency.
It was pretty traumatizing. Like, you know, you always hear about these things. You never really expect to be in one. And, like,
even now, my arms are shaking.
The suspected shooter is in custody. It happened near a crowded student union at lunchtime. We are expecting a police news conference later this hour. Stay with 95.5 WSB for updates. Georgia Tech's softball team is impacted by the FSU shooting.
A social media post and written statement from Georgia Tech Associate Athletics Director Mike Flynn says that the Yellow Jackets softball team was headed to play Florida State this weekend in Tallahassee, but due to the active shooter situation on FSU's campus, all games Friday through Sunday in Tallahassee have been canceled. Georgia Tech Athletics sends its deepest condolences to the Florida State community in light of the tragic incident. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
77 degrees in Atlanta, reaching the mid-80s and heading into Easter weekend. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A Barrow County judge is deciding where to hold trial for the father of the accused Appalachia High School gunman. WSB Steve Summers reports live with a tug of war over that location.
Yeah, Bill, the defense for Colin Gray says there is no impartial jury to be found anywhere near Barrow County where the massacre happened.
What we need to do is to find a place where we can get an impartial and fair jury. I don't think anywhere in this epicenter are we going to be able to find that.
But prosecutors say it doesn't really matter where you go in Georgia for that trial. Everyone has seen TV and newspaper reports about the massacre.
You have Atlanta, Macon, Savannah, Augusta, Columbus, Chattanooga, Albany, Jacksonville.
All the media markets. Prosecutors say they are willing to take the trial to neighboring Walton County to keep cost and hassle down. Gray faces murder charges in the killings of 4 people at the school because he allegedly gave his son Colt the gun he used. The judge says a decision on where the trial will be could take a month. Reporting live, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A Paulding County Sheriff's deputy is recovering after he's shot in the line of duty.
Paulding County deputies went to a home on Hemlock Glen in the Brookside subdivision to conduct a welfare check. Upon arrival, the deputies encountered a man at the home.
He pulled a weapon and shot one of our deputies, wounding him, and the other deputies fired back and fatally wounded the suspect.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says the wounded deputy, identified as 24-year-old Bryce Maddock, is expected to be okay.
Our deputy's been transported to an Atlanta area hospital where he is in stable condition.
He says the GBI has now been called in to conduct the investigation. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows and his entire department mourned the loss of Lieutenant Helio Garcia, who was killed on the line of duty this week.
Helio meant a great deal to me as a leader in this organization. When I first came aboard as the police chief, he was one of the first people that approached me and said, I want to go with you to help build this police department.
Lieutenant Garcia was driving his department vehicle on Flat Shoals Road when another vehicle veered into his lane and struck him head on. Some international students whose visas have been revoked will have to wait a little bit longer to learn a judge's decision in their challenge.
Judge Victoria Calvert says she's inclined to rule in favor of the temporary order for the 133 students in this case, 26 of whom are here in Georgia. But she's giving both sides time to provide more information. Immigration attorney Charles Cook says,
when the government doesn't follow the rules, it requires people to stand up. That's what these students are doing.
Lawyers for the government say no real harm has been done to these students and they could follow reinstatement procedures. The judge has set a hearing for next Thursday to rule on a permanent injunction on the cancellations. At federal court, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It is 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it is triple team traffic, and it begins with Alex Williams.
Not a good start to the afternoon commute, Bill. Sounding a traffic red alert for right now. We have a car fire, I-85 northbound, right where North Druid Hills ramps into 85 north there. They have all lanes completely shut down as they douse that. Once you get past that, there's a crash just past it. It's left only the HOV lane open, but you can't even get there right now. That has just ruined the ride out of Midtown and the Beaufort Spring connector. You can use Beaufort Highway as your alternate there. Elsewhere in West Atlanta, just blocked and reopened all lanes. 20 westbound Holmes Drive got a crash off to the right. We also have a travel advisory on I-75 up in Bartow County. Kobe Dawkins.
It's 75 northbound right at the Allatoona Gateway exit 278. Crash knocks out 2 left lanes, seeing tough delays, so you might want to avoid it by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Fair skies and cooling down tonight. Lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, high 84. A mix of sun and clouds on Saturday, morning low 60, afternoon high 86.
76 in Clarkston, 75 in Smyrna, 74 in Hapeville. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Another mass shooting. This kind of goes along with my feeling today about just everything kind of just being out of control. It's just getting to the point where we're supposed to be able to keep our students safe. I know there's a lot of nuance there. I know that there's there's this side and there's that side. And don't get me wrong. I understand that there's a Second Amendment, and it's the Second Amendment. It's there. But with that being there, we still have an obligation to keep our students safe, and we don't appear to have the ability. When I was growing up, a story like this would happen like once every 4 years or something, maybe even longer. Don't we all, every day, it's somewhere in the back of our head, if it hasn't happened for 2 months, if it hasn't happened for 3 months, can we stop and examine the fact that we all, if we go 3 months without a mass shooting, in the back of our heads we think, it's going to come pretty soon. Yeah. Well, it's going to happen pretty soon. That's just twisted. That is just twisted. But keep on arguing about bathrooms. Let's not get together at a big table as a society and decide that we're letting students down. We're not protecting them. What can we do? And listen to every idea. Back off, Wolf Blitzer. Shut up. We're going to listen to every idea. Extreme ideas on the left, extreme ideas on the right, and then work our way back into the center and maybe see if there's something, anything that can be done. Here's a good question. And again, every time I ask a question on the radio, I have to preface this by saying you were trained to believe, and probably correctly with most talk show hosts, that when they ask a question, they're really making a statement, right? When I'm asking a question, I'm really asking a question. And my question is that I would like one reporter, somebody to say, I want to find out with how many of these kids are on something. How many of these kids are farmed up? And again, I know you were taught that I'm a talk show host, so if I ask that question, I'm really declaring to you what I believe. But I'm not going to come down to your level. I know what a question is. Isn't that a good question? And the answer could be, there's nothing there. But don't tell me that you've debunked it before I ask. Blah, 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 blah. This is happening far too often. And it's quite often, people, teenagers, young people, I don't know if we've seen this person yet. I don't know that we know the age but it's a college, I can assume. So we have an obligation to protect our students, and we are not doing that. Can we start there before we get to the Second Amendment, before we get to any other cultural things? Can we start with point zero? We are not doing our job in protecting our students. Let's just start there, and then let's start having a conversation about, is there any way? Maybe we'll find out there's nothing. Maybe we'll find out there's nothing we can do. But how about you, listening to me right now, on the left and on the right, how about you decide not to use this event to push the thing that you've believed for the last 20 years? Can we all come to the table and just start with, we're not doing a good job. And it's not just students. We're not doing a good job at protecting people when they get together in large gatherings. Now, obviously, 99.9% of the time you go someplace, it's not going to happen. But is there anybody listening to me who thinks that it's not happening?
That it
too
can't
much?
happen? Yeah, of course.
And everybody knows.
It's in the back of your head.
We should not be living like that. And you know what? You can understand, like, terrorists, right? In a sense, you're at war with them, and they're at war with you, and it's asymmetrical. So at least you can wrap your mind around, oh, they hate us, we hate them, we're at war with them. But kids just waking up and deciding, hey, I'm going to go shoot up the school today, or the 3 or 4 weeks or months ahead when they plan, what the hell is going on? And I think a good question, if you still in America understand what a question really is, how many of these kids are farmed up? I'd like to know. If you give me the evidence that there's nothing there, I will say the next day, we looked into it and there was nothing there. But I don't hear reporters asking the question. And a lot of reporters, paychecks the money comes from commercials that come from pharmaceutical companies, right? Am I wrong about that? Did I just make that up? Is that a conspiracy theory? Did Eric Von Haessler just make that up? Is that not true? Is that not just a metric you could look at? that well over something like 50% of all advertising on news comes from pharma? And it's very interesting that reporters will not ask this question. Something's different. What is it? Maybe it's a bunch of things. But I just like to ask you, listening right now, whether you're on the left or on the right, maybe this time not use this opportunity to just go back to the thing that you've believed for 20 years and say, see, there it is. That proves I'm right. I didn't do anything about the problem, but gotta pat myself on the back. It did prove that I'm right. And really, in America, the United States of solipsism, very much attached to what's going on in the Minecraft movies where people... I've got news for you. You are not the only person who exists on this planet. Start figuring out how to get along with other people. Start figuring out how to get along with people that you completely and totally disagree with all the time. Good lesson that the children would see is they're, hey, you know, mom and dad vote completely differently from their best friends. Oh, that must be the world I live in. I'm putting a lot of different things in there. But you get where I'm going with all of this. You got to start with the fact that we're not doing our job, protecting people when they get together, whether it's on a campus, whether it's at a local festival, like what happened in Dayton a few years ago. Can we think about solving problems? You can work your ass off to solve a problem and in the end find out that there is no solution. But it's worth it, because if you work your ass off to try to solve a problem, you might solve it. But my guess is these words are falling on deaf ears. And we won't solve the problem. We'll just go to rallies and raise our voices once again and say, I told you so. I'm right. This proves it. And here we are in the United States of solipsism, and that's all that matters. All that matters is that I'm right. Well, if you have 330 million people all believing they're right, you're never going to come to a consensus on anything. Look at the country. We already live in a country now where basically whoever is president, whatever party wins the White House from here on out is going to have 51% of the people, and they're just going to, for 4 years, try to shove everything down our throat. It's going to be a whipsaw nation now. MAGA thinks that they love that Donald Trump's standing up to the courts, doing all this stuff, not even thinking in the back of their heads, we're giving all of this power to the next president we hate. Politics, like law, is based on precedent more than anything else. So, enjoy it while you have it, and then the next person will use all the same tricks to reverse everything. And then the president after that will use all the same tricks to push it back. And that means for the next 20, 25 years, you're spinning your wheels.
You have a seesaw society.
Yeah,
whoop, whoop,
just
whoop,
back and
whoop.
forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, Congress might get involved and actually do their job.
No, Congress. You go to Congress to up your subs.
That's true.
You go to Congress, especially the House of Representatives, to get a bigger profile on social media. AOC, MTG have done nothing. But they are wildly famous because they've upped their subs on social media. And that's all that matters to them, because they live in the United States of solipsism. Should that be the word of the day? Maybe some people don't know what solipsism means.
It should, because I don't know what it means. Only through context clues am I understanding it. But.
Solipsism, like the sort of the real term, is a philosophical view that you are really the only person who exists, and the whole thing is But in the way that we talk and use the term now, it kind of just means self-centered.
The quality of being very self-centered or selfish.
Yeah, but go to the second. That's where it came from.
Philosophy, the view or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist.
It's like all that you can know. You can't know anything else. And then over time, it became a self-centered person. We are the United States of solipsism. I don't know how many names I can give the country. What did I say yesterday? We're built on nothing but pornography and lies.
That was 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Well, those things track with solipsis.
Yes, they do. Yeah, a goon cave.
Yeah.
Quite a solipsistic place. Hello, Alex Williams. He says there's hello. Did you say hello?
Hello, Alex
Oh,
Williams.
okay. I'm sorry. I delivered that the
You
wrong
know, we
way.
can never introduce him when he comes and joins us here in the 4 o'clock
Ladies
hours.
and gentlemen, here on the 4 o'clock hour, I would
You're
like to
showing
say,
their solipsism over there. Eric Von Essler.
You know who else exists in this world? Alex Williams. He says there's a red alert on 85 northbound in Brookhaven.
Hey, good afternoon, Eric. Good to be with you guys. Not good to be on I-85 out of Midtown or 400 South. Anywhere trying to get into Northeast Atlanta and Brookhaven. Red alert, like you said, all lanes shut down. Car fire. I-85 northbound, just past the North Druid Hills Bridge, exit 89. You cannot access 85 north from North Druid Hills Road, and it has absolutely cooked the ride back into Midtown, as well as the Buford Spring connector, trying to make your way up from Peachtree Street. Use Buford Highway if you can make your way around there. That's going to be your best alternate to get around that. On the south side perimeter, just blocked and reopened all lanes. 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Jonesboro Road, exit 55. Crash move from the left lane to the right shoulder there. We're sounding a travel advisory for I-75 up in the Ackworth area, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 75 northbound right at the Allatoona Gateway, exit 278. Crash continues to knock out 2 left lanes, seeing tough delay stretching past Wade Green Road. You can avoid it by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. And this report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more about their support of Common Threads and nutrition education at anthem.com/dream. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthcare Plan of Georgia, Inc. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The U.S. is investing up to $1 billion to fight the spread of bird flu.
At the top and bottom of every hour.
Traffic congestion around Metro Atlanta continues to cost commuters.
And when it breaks.
The suspect is in critical condition after being struck multiple times.
Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Spring storms can produce flash flooding with heavy rain flowing around your house and into your crawl space. And rainwater trapped in there will provide the perfect breeding ground for mold. Hey, this is Christina Edwards. Mold not only produces that stale, musty smell, but it can also impact the air quality in your home. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will encapsulate your crawl space, keeping it dry and preventing mold from forming. AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
EMC Security.
Meet EMC Security's hero of the home.
After some break-ins in my neighborhood, it got me thinking about my family's security. A friend recommended EMC Security, so I called them. Now I have peace of mind that my family is safe without having to sign a long-term contract.
Way to go, Sarah. Be the hero of your home with no contracts, fast and reliable monitoring, and rates as low as $16.95.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home fast for maximum value. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about showings, open houses, or costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market, receive an all-cash offer, and close within days. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home fast with their guaranteed cash offer. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
If you're ignoring any cracked bricks or concrete, floor and wall gaps, bowed walls, or cracked chimneys, you could be ignoring underlying foundation problems. Dave Baker here for AquaGuard Foundation Solutions. AquaGuard knows these signs lead to irreversible damage that will hurt the value of your home, so don't wait any longer. Have them come out and inspect the problem. AquaGuard's experts will identify your home's issues at the source. Visit aquaguard.net today to book your free inspection. When it comes to foundation issues, just remember, AquaGuard.
All right, we've had this studies, surveys, and polls. We were supposed to do it on Monday, and we didn't do it. We were supposed to do it on Tuesday. We didn't do it on Wednesday.
I knew that with you coming back from your spring break, I tried to intentionally schedule things a little bit lighter earlier in the week because I knew you'd have a lot to say. And then yesterday we had a lot of guests, so that's why we didn't get to it.
So many fist fights on the beaches during my spring break.
Well, you didn't tell us all this.
Well, no, I didn't want to.
You want to brag?
Now that I know that no charges will be filed.
You're the reason why.
STDs?
Yeah, I got a couple. But they're the easy ones. They're the ones you just take,
sure.
take a couple pills, you'll be fine.
They had clean fists.
Oh my God.
I did not get that at first. I have to say, I did not get that at first. So let's go ahead and open it up. What do you say?
It's time for studies, surveys, and polls on the von Hessler Doctrine.
Woo!
All right, I don't care. Throw anything at me. Study, survey, poll. It'll probably be political. Hey, Trump's up, Trump's down.
No, you know what? We've been pretty political so far, so this is not going to be a...
Yeah, let's get away from the politics.
This is an interesting one here. This is a study from Binghamton University in New York.
I've done comedy at a Holiday Inn in Binghamton, New York.
I used to prank their radio station.
No. We were destined to meet up and provide entertainment for the masses.
They have found that workplace drama can bring employees closer together, contrary to popular belief. So believe it or not, like if you have a bad boss or something like that, then it actually brings the direct reports to that boss closer together. So it's good to have a little bit of a chaotic workplace.
That's why Autumn and I work so well together. She hates me. Absolutely can't stand me, but it's brought us together over the years. And, now it's kind of a love-hate relationship.
Wait, so is the story that the employees get together and bond over hating the boss, or is it that the employees who hate the boss end up bonding to the boss somehow?
No. So it's the first thing you brought up there. So
okay. So Eric, it would be that Tim and I get closer for both hating you.
That's right.
We have Zoom, coffee meets every night after the show.
Yeah.
Just a bitch fest.
Got to get it off your chest, right? I mean, I can be a bit of a dictator in here,
Sometimes
emphasis on tater.
I like to think the emphasis should be on benevolent. Benevolent dictator, I believe, should be how I'm seen. As a matter of fact, I want that on my gravestone.
Yeah?
Even though I'm going to be cremated, I still want a gravestone. It's just old-fashioned. Just take an urn, put it in the ground.
Where do you want the gravestone?
I want the gravestone above my grave. I'm saying is...
above your grave, there should be a map.
Yes.
And it's where your gravestone is.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like everybody who comes to visit me, there'll be a new magical kind of scavenger hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Find his glasses.
Because, kids hate going to the cemetery. You get a little fun
They're scared.
in there. Yeah. Have them go
irrational.
out and let them know, hey, there's a chocolate thing in the grass over there. You just got to find it. You know how kids are. They're dumb. Oh, wow, chocolate.
I found a hand.
A bunny lays an egg, I guess.
Was it a chocolate hand?
It's brown and red, and there's bones in it.
Yeah. Well, that's not. Yeah, that's your prize. That's your treat.
Peep's hand.
Why are the fingernails are so long?
Did we talk about the kids are this year because of the price of eggs? Did we talk about that a couple days ago? We did not on the air. Is it the puffed people stay puffed? Or what? The marshmallow.
Marshmallow, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of painting eggs, they want people to paint marshmallows.
Yeah, but can you eat the marshmallow after you? RFK Jr.'s not going to be. It's got to be like a red
You have to use natural dye. Beets.
It's better than eggs. When I was a kid, I was like, they were fun. It was fun to find them and stuff like that. And of course, there'd be a chocolate bunny or something and jelly beans, but.
I thought egg prices have come down, though.
They have come down. But my point is, how is that a treat for a child, a boiled egg?
I didn't think that was the treat. I thought it was the design, like the coloring of the egg and designing it, and then you go and hide those plastic ones that open up, and there's like a M&M.
See, that's the way it was with my kids. Yeah. That's how it was with one M.
We grew up lower middle class.
Yeah, just M's.
It was just an M.
Yeah.
You had to go find another one to get
Reese's
a pair.
Piece.
These are W's.
The Greeks, I have to give it to them with Greek
Oh,
Easter.
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, at least you're giving it to them.
With Greek Easter, what they do with the eggs is instead of eating the hard-boiled egg like you're expected to do, they take them and it's like a competition. You go up to another person that has an egg, and you you bash them into each other, and then whoever's egg cracks ends up losing the competition between
What is
the
it
two.
with these smashing plates and
They
smashing
they like
eggs?
to break things. It's
very-
just the Greek way. and I mean, I never did that with my Easters growing up. But
Their
that's,
economy is broken too.
it's because they took two things, they crashed
That's
them
because
together.
they've been wasting these eggs all these years.
Yeah.
Alex Williams says 85 is a no-go zone out of Midtown.
All due to this red alert that still has 85 northbound completely shut down. North Druid Hills Road, exit 89. They've been dousing a car fire. Or even north of there, they had a wreck, or a crash. Either way, it is cooked to the ride out of Midtown. 85 northbound is stacked in, leaving 17th Street. It's also jammed up the Beaufort Spring Connector and 400 South, leaving Lenox Road. Use a Beaufort Highway as your alternate. We're also checking on new trouble, 400 northbound in Sandy Springs, up around the North Springs MARTA station. You're jammed up as you leave 285. Travel advisory number 2 on I-75 in Ackworth, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 75 northbound right at the Allatoona Gateway, exit 278. Crash continues to knock out 2 left lanes, seeing those tough delays back to Highway 5. You can avoid it by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When it comes to beautiful, they wrote the book. Siding, paint, windows, and doors gives your home a brand new look.
At Superior Pro, we use the highest quality materials and the best techniques in windows, siding, painting, doors, and more. Plus, all our projects come with an extended labor warranty. Visit SuperiorPro.com for a free in-home design consultation.
Superior Pro, the pros to know.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Dave Baker here for Coolray. You know that Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Electrical always has your back, right? Well, right now, Coolray's offering an AC tune-up for just $79.99. Hey, that's a great deal. You can stay ahead of the heat that's coming our way and get your HVAC system in tip-top shape. But maybe your system needs more than just a tune-up this year. Maybe this is the year your AC needs to be replaced. I had mine replaced last year because it was old and inefficient. But good news again. Not only can you receive up to $2,250 back in rebates when you purchase a new complete Carrier HVAC system from Coolray, but they will also upgrade your attic installation for free. Imagine the home comfort you'll feel. And Coolray has those sweet Carrier home comfort systems, the ones that come with a lifetime parts and labor warranty, on hand and ready for same day or next day installation. Keep your house cool this summer. Simply go to Coolray.com and set up your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top story, students at Florida State take cover after hearing of an active shooter on campus.
We got the desks and started piling them up against the door. It was pretty hectic.
A suspect is now in custody. A hospital in Tallahassee is treating at least 6 people injured in the shooting. 5 are in serious condition. 1 is critical. This student wakes up to sirens blaring, warning him of a life-threatening emergency.
At first you think it's a drill, and then it's not, and it's like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
and you start to panic. You know, you get like a sinking feeling in your stomach. I mean, it's pretty moving.
We are expecting police to provide an update on the shooting any minute now. We will bring it to you live. The shooting happened near a crowded student union during lunchtime. Georgia Tech was scheduled to play Florida State in softball over the weekend in Tallahassee. The school confirms to WSB the team was on their way to FSU this afternoon, but they had not yet arrived in Tallahassee. All of the games this weekend are now postponed. 77 degrees in Atlanta, reaching the mid-80s tomorrow. Now let's go live to Tallahassee.
All Florida State University classes and business operations on the main campus in Tallahassee are canceled through Friday, April 18th. Essential employees should check with their supervisors for further reporting instructions. All FSU athletic events in Tallahassee are canceled through Sunday. At approximately 11:50 a.m. Thursday, April 17th, a gunman opened fire on the main campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, shooting multiple individuals in the vicinity of the Student Union building. FSU police responded immediately, engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter. 2 victims are deceased, and 5 individuals have been transported to a local hospital with gunshot wounds. The shooter has also been transported to a local hospital. The 2 deceased are not students. The shooter is believed to be a current FSU student. I do not have additional information on the shooter's identity at this time. Students who need assistance can go to the Donald L. Tucker Center, where the university is providing counseling, health care, and other support services. Family members are also able to go to the Tucker Center for assistance. Students, faculty, and staff are asked to call their loved ones as soon as possible to update them on their status. The student union and the surrounding area is still considered an active crime scene. Individuals should avoid the area. Students should not return to the student union to retrieve personal property at this time. Students may return to their residence halls, but they should otherwise stay indoors on main campus to allow first responders and university staff to do their jobs and respond to those needing assistance. Students may depart campus for the weekend. All classes have been canceled through Friday. Before I turn this over to Chief Revel, I want to thank all the brave men and women of the FSU PD for responding immediately to the scene. I also want to thank the responding agencies who have provided assistance to FSU today big time, including the Tallahassee Police Department, the Leon County Sheriff's Office, the Florida Highway Patrol, Leon County Emergency Medical Services, FDLE, and all other responding agencies today. We really appreciate your support. That's all the information I have at this time. We'll have additional update for you later today. Chief Revel.
Good afternoon. I am Chief Revel with the Tallahassee Police Department. As the shooting occurred today, our officers, as well as every single other officer in this city and county, responded immediately to this scene. Once on scene and once we began working through what was occurring and what we were working, in consultation with FSU, Tallahassee Police Department was asked to take lead on this. So we will be the lead for this investigation, and both the officer involved shooting portion of this as well as the homicide portion of this. I will come up after the last speaker and entertain just a few questions, but needless to say, we have multiple crime scenes. This is a very large area we're covering. We have thousands, hundreds of thousands, or hundreds or thousands of witnesses. And again, this is an active, ongoing investigation. So the information that we will be allowed to release right now may be fairly limited. I'll answer what I can at that time. But I will assure you that as soon as we can, any information that becomes available, we will make that available to you. One of the things in the process, and again, understand that this is an ongoing, active investigation. So things are happening as we are standing here and as we are speaking. We have identified the shooter, obviously. He's at the hospital. So with more on that, I'm going to allow the sheriff to come up and speak on that portion of it.
Thank you, Chief. As Chief Revel indicated, I'm Walt McNeil, Leon County Sheriff. First and foremost, let me express our gratitude to the responding law enforcement agencies in this community. Our citizens should feel some degree of comfort knowing that your law enforcement agencies are going to respond and do exactly what we did in this case, that is bring the offender to justice and to make sure that we do what we can to make sure we lock him or her up. Let me say to you, this is obviously a heinous crime. Our deepest condolences go out to the FSU family, the families of the students who are here, and we understand that you all have been devastated because of this person's actions. The question as it relates to who is the shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, and he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Our Deputy Eichner, has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for over 18 years. She has a tremendous job that she's done. Her service to this community has been exceptional. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene. And we are continuing that investigation into how that weapon was used and what other weapons perhaps he may have had access to. The alleged shooter was also a long-standing member of the Leon County Sheriff's Office Citizen Advisory or Youth Advisory Council. So he has been steeped in the Leon County Sheriff's Office family, engaged in a number of training programs that we have. So it's not a surprise to us that he had access to weapons. This event is tragic in more ways than you people in the audience could ever fathom from a law enforcement perspective. But I will tell you this, we will make sure that we do everything we can to prosecute and make sure that we send a message to folks that this will never be tolerated here in Leon County, and I dare say across this state and across this nation. Thank you. Let me bring up the FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge, Hubert Reynolds.
Good afternoon. My name is Hubert Reynolds, and I'm the Acting Special Agent in charge of the Jacksonville Field Office. I want to echo those standing with me what a horrific crime this is, and we stand with you fully. We have an office here in Tallahassee, and we are fully engaged with providing any resources that we can bring to bear to help with this investigation moving forward. We've established a digital tips media line where you can upload photos, videos prior to and during the incident. If you were there from social media, please upload all of that. I will give you now the website address. You can upload any tips to www.fbi.gov/FSU shooting. Again, that's www.fbi.gov/FSU shooting. I want to assure you that we are going to bring every available resource to be able to help the community and the local people here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Richard McCullough, Burke McCullough, the president of Florida State University. This is a tragic day for Florida State University. We're absolutely heartbroken by the violence that occurred on our campus earlier today. 2 have died. 5 other innocents are being treated for their injuries. We're working to support the victims, their families, and everyone affected by this traumatic event. I just returned from the hospital where the First Lady and I met some of our students who are the victims. Our hearts go out to our students and the victims of this terrible tragedy. I have to say that our law enforcement, our FSU police officers, are absolute heroes in this regard. A call went out, someone called it in, and immediately they responded to the scene and immediately neutralized the suspect and prevented this from being a bigger tragedy. I want to thank them so much for what they do to try to keep our students safe. I want to thank all the law enforcement partners, FSU Police, Tallahassee Police, Leon County Sheriff's Department, Florida Highway Patrol, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and all other responding agencies for their rapid and courageous response. I want to thank everybody that came out to visit with the students and to help us, and to be here today for this press conference. And I appreciate so much the support that you're all providing to our university and to our students. We're fully cooperating with the investigation, and we defer to law enforcement as they continue their work. I'd also like to thank all the healthcare providers at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. They're treating and providing outstanding care to our victims. Right now, our top priority is safety and well-being for all the people and our campus. As it was said, classes are canceled. The main campus today and tomorrow and all FSU athletics events on Tallahassee are canceled through Sunday. We also want to tell you that counseling and psychological services are available to students, faculty, and staff, and anyone that needs that should call 850-644-2003. We're also providing support for faculty and staff through our Employee Assistance Program. And so if you need any help, please reach out. We'll continue to communicate with the campus community as we know more. This is a deeply emotional time, but we're all here to support each other. We're going to do everything we can to support our community. We're a strong and united community, and we're family. And so we'll take care of all of you. And we'll get through this together. Thank you.
All right, at this time we will take a few questions. Let me just reiterate, this was a massive response, a massive response of law enforcement personnel. Our federal, state, local partners have continued to build relationships that long preceded this event, and that came into great play today in the seamless way that we all came together to work these events. But I know you'll have some specific questions. I will tell you right now, we are not going to talk about the victims other than the fact that there are 6 of them, two additional deceased, and then the suspect, so 9 total persons. 9 total persons. Yes, sir. Have you all been able to talk to the suspect at all? Any idea about motive? The suspect invoked his rights not to speak to us. Right. No, that's a good question. This weapon was a weapon that the deputy previously used. A lot of times, many agencies, mine included, when we transition to a new handgun, the officers are allowed to purchase the handgun they used prior. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but I believe that's the case here. This was a handgun that deputy used prior to them transitioning to a new handgun, and so it was her personal handgun. The sheriff would have to speak to that.
We will do a thorough investigation to look at all aspects of it. There's no cause right now that we're aware of that require her to be placed on any kind of suspension or otherwise.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been hearing stuff that it was a deputy who was a school resource officer. Is that true?
That is correct.
Yes. Chief, who's injured, who was killed, or any of those members of law enforcement?
I'm sorry? No, they were not. They were not. Yes, sir.
When law enforcement arrived, did the suspects engage with them, or did he surrender immediately?
No, they challenged him and ended up shooting. He did not comply with commands and was shot.
Did he fire officers?
I do not believe he fired at officers.
We've heard that Phoenix may be autistic. Are you able to
I do not have that detail. I'm sorry? We're not releasing any of the victim information at this time.
Was the officer aware of any behavioral conditions or concerns or threats prior to this incident?
We were not.
How quickly did officers arrive on scene from the 911 call to when they engaged the suspect?
We will get you that information. I don't have that currently. I assume that would be a question that was asked, but I mean, it was almost immediately. That FSU, obviously this is their campus, and they patrol it very well. So they were on scene almost immediately, engaged almost immediately, and then everyone else, again, was a massive, very quick response.
I know you said that the two deceased were not students. Do we know of those 5 that were injured or any of them students?
Again, we're not releasing any information on the students on the victims at this point.
Specifically, what firearm did you use?
I'm sorry?
What kind of firearm was he using?
It was a handgun.
What kind of handgun?
I don't know what type of handgun that was. It was probably a 40. I don't know. Yeah.
Chief, I heard it reported that a shotgun was also recovered on campus. Was that used in the shooting?
We do know that he had a shotgun with him. We have not confirmed anyone was shot with a shotgun at this point. But again, that could change as we, again, there are hundreds and hundreds of witnesses, and as we piece all of this back together, information will come to light that we may not have at this point. So I do not believe so at this point.
We'll take one more question. Will body cam footage of radio dispatch or any logs be released in the near future?
I'm sorry, say again.
Will there be any body cam footage or radio dispatch logs or incident reports being released anytime soon?
We will work with the state attorney's office, which we always do, in pulling together all the information, all the investigative evidence from this case. And in collaboration with State Attorney Campbell, we will make that determination. Obviously, after the case is over, we will certainly, it all becomes available at that point. But as to what we can and will release at that point, like I said before, we're very open, transparent on these things. Again, the officers did an incredible job. But again, some of this is very horrific. This is a horrific incident. And so we will, again, collaborate with the state attorney's office and determine which of that evidence could be released or will not be released. But again, I will let you know that as soon as we make that determination. So thank you all very much. Appreciate you being here. And just let me reiterate what's already been said. The collaboration between all of the agencies, the federal, the state, the local, all of our first responders, our EMS personnel, our fire department, again, just a massive response, immediate treatment to the victims that were there, the transport of them. Again, it was a very seamless response to this tragedy. And that goes to the training that we all do repeatedly, individually as agencies and together. The incident command came together very, very quickly. And again, I could not be more proud of the response and more horrified at the act. So thank you very much.
Can you please just real quick verify again one more time the number of people injured and dead? Our number was 8. I heard you say 9.
Sure. Total number of 9. That includes the suspect. So there are 6 victims that are injured, 2 victims that are dead, and 1 suspect. And that's, let me just reiterate this because I'm not sure we said this. We have no reason to believe at this point that he did not act alone. So there is no further threat to our community at this point. So thank you very much.
You have been listening live to a news conference in Tallahassee, Florida, site of today's shooting on the campus of Florida State University. Just to recap what police told us just moments ago, 2 people are dead, 6 are injured with gunshot wounds after the shooting on the FSU campus. The 2 dead are not students at Florida State. The 6 injured all have gunshot wounds. The suspected shooter, 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, is identified as a shooter at Florida State University, and he is in the hospital. And we were told in that news conference that he is the son of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy, and that's how he had access to a weapon. All classes canceled for the rest of the week at Florida State. All sports are canceled for this weekend, and that includes all games that were scheduled between Florida State and Georgia Tech in in softball this weekend. We will have much more coming up throughout the afternoon and this evening on this shooting at Florida State. Again, 2 dead and 6 injured. The suspect, a 20-year-old student, is in custody. Now 4:50 at 95.5 WSB, and let's get a live update from the traffic center now, and Alex Williams.
Got some better news for those heading up toward Brookhaven, northeast Atlanta, and beyond. The earlier car fire, Dallas, still everything back open. Just north of that, though, they're still working a right lane crash, 85 northbound Claremont Road, exit 91. You can imagine that is just ruined the ride out of downtown and midtown. Northbound delay starts 75, 85 north, right at I-20, and you're not going to find any relief till you get north of Georgia 400. Southbound, close to 40 minutes to travel out of Buckhead down to I-20. 75 southbound, heavy delays start right around Moores Mill Road. Earlier crash, 75 north up at Glade Road in Bartow County has cleared, but we do have some trouble in Sandy Springs on 400, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's going northbound Georgia 400 right before Northridge Road, exit 6. Crash knocks out one left lane, seeing tough delay stretching onto I-285 as well. Back to Lennox Road from the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
We'll have more news at just 10 minutes at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
That was stunning. I did not expect some of that information to come out. I think the last thing in the world I would have expected was that the shooter at FSU was the son of a deputy. I mean, what kind of commentary am I? This happens like every 3 months, it seems. Wasn't there one that was stopped at a high school a couple weeks ago before it happened? I'm not smart enough to figure out all of this. I don't have an idea that's going to be something that can just go, oh, well, that's an epiphany. I guess that will just do that. There have to be so many variables in a society that are bringing us to this point. And it's hard to get your arms around it. And I don't, we don't know what that house was like, and we don't know what that deputy's like. They said 18 years on the force. And we don't know if that person did everything in the home that they're supposed to do with a handgun. The kid, this is the thing. Why don't you know that your kids are in trouble? This is the thing. Why is it that parents can't see that their kids are going in a direction? And I don't know. And especially a deputy who's been trained. And I want to be careful here because we don't know. We might find out that the deputy did everything right and the kid was just clever, figured out, the lock or whatever. I don't know. But if it ends up being a situation where it just was no problem for this kid to access the handgun of their parent who's a deputy, how often is that going on? And these things are happening all the time, and they're unique situations as far as the shooters and the situation, and then there's so much similarity between them. And in this situation, so it's not like we have a bunch of cops kids who are going and doing this. Now we get this new wrinkle in all of this. And got to be careful here. I don't know. I don't know the deputy sheriff. This deputy. Maybe they did everything right. I can't all of a sudden decide I know what was going on in that home. I don't. But if we do find out that this was just sloppy on the part of the deputy, the guy was saying that the kid was he didn't say this, but sometimes kids get enamored with police forces and stuff. And obviously if the parent is a part of that, so this kid was part of youth programs, training, I imagine some sort of like citizen deputy kind of thing. It would sound like these are kind of programs for kids who want to be cops at one point. And so we don't know. No one, the parent is a cop. The kid is in their social life engaging with cops all the time through these youth programs. Nobody notices. Who knows? We don't know. Maybe we'll find out the kid was so sociopathic that you couldn't know. That's why I got to be careful now. I want to rant and rave against the parent, but I don't know all the facts here. But when this news conference started, I did not expect to hear that. Not only the child of a deputy, but completely enmeshed in the youth programs and all that. And nobody notices. But again, we don't have all the information. Maybe he was in counseling. Maybe they were doing things. So you can't know and I can't know. I think you still have to kind of like wait before, because if it turns out that guns are just laying around this house and this is a deputy, then we're all going to get pretty pissed off. And I guarantee you, in 99% of cops' homes, that's not the case. So that's the next one, and now so much the same, but yet unique in this way. I wish a talk show host could just have all the answers. I wish I could just be so damn smart. We just did 1, 2, 3, all this will go away. I'm not. But, I mean, keep your guns away from your kids. That's the beginning. Alex Williams, or, in this way. If you want to go to the range and teach them, that's another thing. But in this sense, there's so much we still don't know, because the two people who died were not students. So we don't know what that was. Did they know each other? We have no idea. But I just feel like you do. I wish I could be a leader and say, hey, if we just did this. But I'm just like you. I'm just nonplussed every time this happens. Alex Williams says downtown looks like a parking lot.
Yeah, not pretty through the heart of the city, Eric. About 45 minutes to travel out of Buckhead down to I-20. 75 south delays start at Moores Mill. Northbound, you're slow from University Avenue all the way up into northeast Atlanta due to the earlier trouble we had up around Claremont Road. Think about your surface streets, which are also slow as alternates. Trouble on I-20 into Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, I-20 eastbound right at Candler Road, exit 65. Crash knocks out 2 left lanes and 2 right lanes, so causing delays getting to the downtown connector. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Looking to get organized in style? The brand new Artisan Custom Closet showroom is now open near Trilith Studios in Fayetteville. Come experience the Artisan difference. Meet with a designer for your free consultation and start your custom project today. See more at artisancustomclosets.com.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garage.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, buying a car is more than a transaction. It's a 5-star experience because they value you. Enjoy personalized offers and luxury perks, all designed with you in mind. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
Whoa! With the Cubs getting older, we need more space, so we're on the hunt for a new house. Our must-haves, a big yard for the Cubs and Scana Energy for natural gas. It won't be easy to choose the perfect house, but Scana has tons of options that'll make it easy to find the perfect natural gas plan. The sooner we find a place, the better. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60. Limited time offer, additional terms and conditions apply.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from Virtual Imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by North Georgia Replacement Windows. Our top story, a deadly shooting on the campus of FSU. breaking news, stunning revelations about the alleged shooter.
CBS News special report. 2 are dead and 5 injured after a shooting rampage at Florida State University today. The suspect is in custody.
FSU police responded immediately, engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter.
Chief of Police Jason Trumbauer.
The 2 deceased are not students. The shooter is believed to be a current FSU student.
He was the 20-year-old son of a county sheriff deputy. His mother's service weapon was found at the scene. Students took off running when they heard the shots and got the active shooter alert from the school.
I was just running in the direction that everybody else was running, trying to get out of there. And then once I felt like I was at a safe enough distance, I went to my car to get off campus because I didn't know where that shooter was going to be going.
And the student is in shock.
Why do things like this, keep happening? I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
Classes have been canceled through Friday. All athletic events have been canceled through the weekend. CBS News special report. I'm Stacy Lynn.
Georgia Tech's softball team was on the way to Tallahassee when the shooting occurred.
In light of the tragic incident on the campus of Florida State University, the Yellow Jackets Seminole series is now canceled. Mike Flynn, Associate Athletics Director at Georgia Tech, released a statement and posted on X this afternoon that the softball team was headed to Tallahassee for a 3-game series over the weekend. But due to the active shooter situation on the campus of SFU, all games and activities have been called off. Flynn also says Georgia Tech's athletic department sends its deepest condolences to the Florida State community. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
77 degrees in Atlanta. Warmer tomorrow and Saturday. When do rain chances return? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. The father of the alleged Appalachia High School gunman waits to find out where his trial will be. WSB's Steve Summers reports live with more on today's change of venue hearing.
Bill prosecutors say they are okay with taking Colin Gray's trial outside Barrow County, where the rampage happened. They suggest neighboring Walton County, reading the judge a law that says he must consider the cost and stress of moving that trial.
The cost, the impact on the witnesses, the availability of hotel accommodations and meals for jurors. The law says you shall consider these things.
But Gray's lawyer says cost doesn't matter. Getting an impartial jury is what counts.
It doesn't matter how much money it costs. It doesn't matter how far you have to bring witnesses. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Judge expects to rule within 30 days. Colin Gray charged with murder for allegedly supplying the gun his son Colt used in the massacre. Reporting live, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A suspect is dead and a sheriff's deputy is injured in a shooting in a Paulding County neighborhood.
Deputies were called to a home on Hemlock Glen in the Brookside subdivision to do a welfare check. When they approached the home, they found a man inside.
He pulled a weapon and shot one of our deputies, wounding him.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says other deputies returned fire and killed the man. The deputy, 24-year-old Bryce Maddock, was transported to the hospital in stable condition and is expected to be okay. Henson says this was an isolated incident.
No threat to the area. We've contacted the GBI per standard procedure, and they'll be coming in to conduct the investigation into the deputy-involved shooting.
Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
The South Fulton Police Department is mourning the loss of Lieutenant Helio Garcia, who was killed in the line of duty this week.
In the 39 years I've been doing this job, I've lost a lot of friends in the line of duty. And certainly none hits harder than this one.
Chief Keith Meadows says he knew Lieutenant Garcia well. This is the first South Fulton officer killed in the line of duty. Police identify the woman who struck Lieutenant Garcia's vehicle head-on as 31-year-old Santoria McLean. She is in critical condition. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Brand new trouble in DeKalb County. It's inbound, I-20 westbound. Candler Road exit 65, widely scattered crash here. We got fire department knocking out a couple of right lanes, and then behind that there's also another fire truck and a few left lanes, so kind of zigzagging around to make your way through the center lanes there. Not worth an alternate just yet, not even a mile worth of delay. Just be mindful of it. If you're traveling downtown, it is an absolute mess this afternoon. You're looking at heavy delays, 75, 85 northbound starting at Highway 166 Langford Parkway, and it stays all brake lights up past Claremont Road, exit 91, where an earlier crash pushed off to the side. Surface streets are jammed up as alternates. Southbound, you're jammed in from the 85-400 merge down to I-20. It's also made I-20 eastbound very slow coming into downtown back through West Atlanta. Some better news on 400 in Sandy Springs, Kobe Dawkins?
Yeah, Georgia 400 northbound right before Northridge Road, exit 6. Crash has cleared, and those delays back to the connector are starting to improve. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies this evening. Sunset around 8:15. Temperatures will be in the low 70s at that time, cooling into the upper 40s, low 50s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, breezy, and a little warmer, high 84. Saturday, morning low 60, afternoon high 86. Partly cloudy on Easter Sunday, morning low 62, afternoon high 87. Monday, clouds rolling in with an isolated rain shower possible, highs in the low 80s.
77 in Decatur, 79 in Marietta, 77 in Union City. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. All right, we're all still trying to process this information out of FSU campus. We're in the middle of studies, surveys, and polls, so hit me with any one of those.
Well, how about this NLRB story, this whistleblower that claims that Elon Musk's Doge potentially caused a significant security breach. I've got some audio from this.
Okay, so this guy, now, I got to give some context here. He's saying it may have happened. He's also kind of new. He's not somebody who's been there for like 10, 15 years. There might be, they may very well be, maybe he hates the administration. But these allegations are worth hearing and investigating. Now, it sounds like they're trying to set up a thing where he's working with Russia again. So that's where I go, that wasn't true the first time. But do you have when he was on
his name, by the way, is Daniel.
Is it the lead? Was he on the lead?
He was on the lead with Jake Tapper, and his name is Daniel Birchulus, and he's there with his attorney, and he said this.
There are two data points that I want to point out that should give everybody pause. The first thing, what Dan witnessed, was that within 15 minutes of Doge employees creating user accounts, i.e. usernames and passwords, within 15 minutes of those accounts being created, somebody or something from Russia tried to log in with the right username and right passwords, that is to say, the right credentials, and that happened over 20 times. The second data point, which is really critical, is that Doge has also been using Starlink as a means to exfiltrate data. What that means is that, from our understanding, that Russia has a direct pipeline of information through Starlink, which means that anything going through Starlink is going to Russia. We also know that this is not unique to the NLRB. This is happening government-wide.
All right, so there seems a little bit apparent. This person will never be called a conspiracy theorist, and maybe shouldn't be, because he works in this, so he's either telling the truth or he's lying, or he's telling the truth and leading you to believe it's one thing when maybe it's something else. Perhaps the Russians have compromised. All these countries are hacking each other all the time. It seems to me like he's trying to get across this idea that Doge is providing information to the Russian government. And
the Doge is compromised.
Yeah. Well, compromised is different. If you're compromised, you're not intentionally giving the information. You're just compromised and they're getting it. Seems to me like he was kind of trying to push us toward, this is Doge and this is Trump and they love Russia and they're going to give them all the information. I'm not going there, not at this point. It could be that they've hacked into so many things. And by the way, your government's doing it to other governments as well. Let's not forget that. All these governments are hacking into each other.
Not us.
No, we're just trying to have a cool world, man.
Right.
With all
We're
these
the good
bad
guys.
actors.
Yeah.
It's a hack off. All of these countries are the big countries anyway. They're all hacking each other and inside of each other's systems.
I feel like Chad does a lot of hacking.
Now the question, Chad does no
No,
hacking.
I didn't do any of that, bro.
Chad cannot even afford.
He does hacky sacking.
Chad, the country of Chad cannot afford a glass of water, from what I understand. I don't think that they're hacking anybody. But so the question is he right that some of this stuff is leaking and this information is going to Russia? Or have these systems been hacked so deeply that anything that happens on them, they can be spied upon? But then the other question about responsibility is, shouldn't a guy like Elon Musk know that would happen before going in?
Hopefully Elon has got his two-step authentication.
Here's the thing about being known as a lot of people consider him the world's smartest person. Well, you can't throw your hands in the air and go, oop, I just didn't think about it. So it's kind of on you.
My bad.
Yeah, if actually, you didn't think about the fact that these systems could be hacked and anything that you're doing in them, were they hacked
It's
before?
almost like it's like going to the self-checkout. It's like I was never trained on this. He was never trained in cybersecurity.
Who? Elon Musk?
Elon.
Are you kidding me? Yes, he was. He knows everything about all of this. That's not a true statement. He is.
I didn't know that. He
started PayPal. He started. He's been doing this. He was one of the first people. He's one of the smartest computer
But didn't
minds.
he hire people to do that, not himself?
No, he's the one. He is the person. Yes, you have to hire people to build rockets to go to Mars. Absolutely. This is the old thing. Steve Jobs couldn't have done it. No, but it never would have happened without Steve Jobs. Elon Musk is a brilliant computer science brain. And believe me, he put together PayPal. He understands what encryption is. He has Starlink up there. And he understands. I don't know what they tell
SpaceX.
Now, what they say about Starlink, I don't know. Do they say that's encrypted end to end? I don't know. But the point is, if the Russians or anybody else is able to see any of this information, if it's not being done intentionally, which I do not believe for a second Doge is trying to give Russia information.
Maybe it's open coding like X. You know how it's
very
open
source.
Yeah.
Open source. Not a good place for open source.
Dive in.
Go look at the U.S. government.
No, but he's
When we make the podcast, Jared, will you cut that part out? The thing that
No, it's okay. We could be. Hey, do you know how stupid do you know how many stupid things I've said in the last 2 weeks? It's part of this. It's the
all right.
It's the we're not a show that comes on and tries to pretend that we know everything. I mean, I know more than most people, but that doesn't mean I can express it properly all the time.
It's live radio,
Sorry,
baby.
It's live radio. Oh, baby.
All right,
Whoa,
Don't call me baby,
baby.
Jared.
Wow.
I wasn't referring to. Hold on a second. I was not
Whoa.
referring to Autumn as baby. I was just saying baby
It's
as
radio, baby.
It's like the yo. It's like the yo on the end of Protect the Shield yo.
Yeah, exactly.
baby.
All right, I got you. All right, dude.
Autumn's boo boo to me.
If you
boo-boo on you.
Would you like to apologize to Autumn for your
I
misogynistic?
apologize for her thinking that was implied
That
to
is
her.
no apology,
These
sir.
are turning the blame.
That is no. I have said so many stupid things in the last few. I mean, the week before I went on vacation, and then coming back, I've said so. And in my brain, I call it cornerback time. When I get into these things where for some reason, I'm like a flanker back.
Nobody knows what that is, so you can be like, yeah, that's what I did.
I go through this, every once in a while you're talking for hours a week and whatever. And I just get in these things sometimes where, like yesterday, how come gold's going down? Well, it's not. It's going up, as a matter of fact. Okay, I'm the host of the show. What an idiot.
Did you take a scalding shower last night for
I'm
that?
not Greg. I'm not Greg, but what as a fan of football, I know that to be a great cornerback, and Autumn, that would be somebody who is defending the receivers as they're running, trying to catch the ball and get touchdowns. If you're a great quarterback, you are taught to have the shortest memory ever because even the greatest cornerbacks are going to give up touchdowns. And then a few minutes later, they're going to have to play again. And the best cornerbacks, they forget. I mean, okay, now on to the next one.
Can't be in your head.
In the last few weeks, I've been in a lot of cornerback stuff as I'm driving home. It's like, okay, yeah, you were an idiot. You said something stupid, but okay, all right, you gave up a touchdown. and so I can maintain that as long as I'm not giving up more touchdowns. And then at some point you go, oh, you're just a crappy cornerback. Maybe you shouldn't be in the league anymore.
You're no Dion.
Oh, well, no one is. Dion was the greatest.
He was pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. He might be the best football player in the history of the world.
Polamalu was pretty good.
Polamalu was not. No.
Cornerback.
No, listen. Polamalu was great, but there's only been one Dion.
Yeah, that's true.
On the field. There's only been one. It's whoever was on who are the receivers? Oh, well, he was on 3 different teams, but they practice all the time, and Dion, there was no way you were going to beat Dion on the practice field. There was no way. Like, it must have been humiliating to be a Falcons receiver or a 49ers receiver or a Cowboys receiver at practice at any time, and you've got to cover Dion. I heard somebody, I think it was Marcellus Wiley, was saying that, and he was third party for him once, where the stories where they were yelling in camp at the receivers. Or they may have done a thing where they put Dion on offense, and they were yelling at the fact that you're not working hard enough, you're not keeping up with him, and somebody turned to the coach and said, "You don't understand. We're on legs. He's in a car." It's like, there's nothing we can do. Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on I-20 in DeKalb.
Yeah, the delays are stacking up with this one, Eric. I-20 westbound, just past Candler Road, exit 60. Crash leaves only a center lane open. You're starting to get slower back to 285. Might want to think about Glenwood Road as an alternate. Now we have a travel advisory on I-85 between Duluth and Norcross. It's a crash before or just past Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. 2 left center lanes are blocked there. It's slowing you back to Highway 316, Satellite Boulevard, Buford Highway. Some ways to get you around that. Also watching brake lights on I-75 toward Cobb and Cherokee counties. Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 75 northbound. Those brake lights starting just past South Marietta Parkway, getting to Highway 92 in Ackworth. 575 northbound, just as tap of the brakes getting into Woodstock. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Mosquitoes are annoying and can be dangerous. Let Active Pest Control help keep your yard mosquito-free year-round. For your $69 initial mosquito control service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus Blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
Well, what a blessing that is. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that.
The WSB 5K a day bonus Blitz.
From 95.5 WSB begins Monday, April 21st.
On 95.5 WSB. Download the WSB radio app now.
Dave Baker here for Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Let's talk garage doors. Your garage door, is it too loud? Does it let outside air in around the frame? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta will make it all better this month only, and for only $79, they'll perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year anyway, so why not now and for just $79? Schedule now at overheaddooratlanta.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com. Click on Portfolio X-Ray or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Termites could be eating your home right now, and you never know. Christina Edwards here for Breda Pest Management. When was the last time you actually saw your service inspect for termite damage? Let me guess, they just walked around the outside and checked the bait stations. Better get Breda. They use advanced infrared cameras and microwave technology for early detection. Switch to Breda, and your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Just like your car, your septic system needs regular maintenance. Hi, I'm Shannon, the owner of Scorpion Septic. If you're seeing bubbles in your toilet, pooling in your yard, slow draining, or your toilet won't flush, you need Scorpion Septic.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump out charge with your repair. Call for more information. ScorpionSepticServices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. Now open at 54 Bullsboro Drive, Home Outlet Noonan. Break up with your big box store and discover a better way to tackle home improvement. Employee-owned Home Outlet delivers the guaranteed lowest prices on a wide selection of quality in-stock kitchens, baths, floors, and more. Take advantage of our free services, including expert kitchen planning and accurate estimates for baths, floors, doors, and windows. Shop in-store or online at homeoutlet.com.
Home Outlet is your home store.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
I wanted you to do one story, and then I realized we're in studies. Can we take a little pause from studies, surveys, and polls so you can do this story?
Well, we kind of did. We were talking about the Doge story before.
There are rules. You cannot
We're going to break the rules.
divert from the that's
We're going to break the
highly
rules.
unorthodox.
I know it is. And
I'm making a note.
And okay.
Oh, no.
And we're not going to do it often. Well, actually, we do it all the time. I tell the audience we're going to do something, we never do it. The audience puts up with it. They like the show for some reason. I don't know.
Proceed.
He is the king of the hanging teas.
The hanging teas, or I'll say, hey, we're going to do this, and then we open it up, and then I don't do it. Still trying to make Autumn feel good, knowing that she's not the only one that does or says stupid things on this show. The host
Yay!
is constantly say, I don't know what the audience is like. We'll put up with it. He's usually almost correct on things, and the show's kind of
That's why
funny
people
sometimes.
tune in is because he's almost correct.
He's almost correct a lot of the time, and the show's fun to listen to. So let's not take it all very seriously. We'll take a pause from study, survey, and polls because I just find this to be a ludicrous story.
Well, this is the second biggest
Not the
conspiracy.
rapper.
Second biggest conspiracy of the week. Number one, people think that Blue Origin whole takeoff with all the women, they think it's fake. That's been all over the internet.
Okay, let's start there.
That's
No,
wild.
hold on. We'll do a little conspiracy theory
Some,
thing.
of those, some of those thoughts are legit.
All right, listen. Now there's something strange, like maybe they manufactured the idea that he had to open the door from the outside.
Yes.
Now, but here's as I was reading, and you got to find people who know what they're talking about. So the idea is that in a pressurized capsule, they don't open in, they open out, and that before Bezos got there, from the video footage that's there, it looks like somebody started to open the door from the inside and it went inward, not out. Then all of a sudden that gets closed back up and Bezos shows up with a big wrench or something. I don't know. And he has to do something.
He pretends to wrench it open.
Now, it doesn't
And
mean.
it still goes in.
Yeah, but does it still go in? Okay.
The door does.
Okay, so that's a question for people who know what they're talking about when it comes to pressurized cabins and capsules. But it doesn't mean there wasn't this is the 11th time. Do you think Shatner didn't go up? Do you think, this is the 11th time this thing has done this? So it does go up and come back down. Now, what's more likely to be is, no, we want to make it look like her boyfriend is coming to get his girlfriend out, and hey, and that's something that was sort of manufactured and pre-planned. And I don't know, Gayle King, who was scared out of her mind, probably just wanted to get the hell out of there and started opening the door.
She saw the red emergency exit. Okay, go.
So I think that's more likely than that. But here's the other. Now go to the other story.
This would have been the biggest conspiracy theory of the week had that not happened before. But a mysterious triangular tower has been discovered at the secretive Area 51 and social media users are insisting that the structure is alien technology.
All right, let me just say this.
We've never built anything like that.
No, ever. Let me
It's
just
right
say-
near the runway, too. They think it's some kind of alien control
let
tower.
me just say this. I have not read this story. I do not know the details, but I can guarantee you one thing. It's not alien technology. You know, if Area 51 is supposed to be such a secret place, they've done a terrible job.
Have you seen these satellite images, though? These satellite images
Yeah,
show...
it could be a million different things. It's the Air Force, right? It could be a flight tower. It could be a radar. It could be. It's been
Could
there
be where
for
they keep the bodies.
Could be where they keep the bodies that aren't there.
Isn't it odd that we find out later on this week about Planet K2-18b?
Is it odd?
It's a little odd.
It's our bong.
It's our,
Bro.
oh, not K420. For people just tuning in, I don't know why this. Well, now I know why this isn't the biggest story, so I'm gonna go there. But not a bigger story than it is we have the most proof that we've ever had. Now, it doesn't mean it's solid 100%, but the most proof that we've ever had of life on another planet. But it would take us 125 years at the speed of light to get there. But we got one of them here because he's here for it's a stoner planet.
You know, you guys should have, invent that thing that we have.
Yeah, it seemed a little. Are you here for 420 Fest? Is that what
You know it. I'm getting an early start.
He rode that triangular thing to Area 51 to come here just to go to 420.
Space Sibian.
Is that what you do? And you fly it to Area 51, land there, and climb down? All right. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in Dunwoody.
Yeah, a crash blocking at least one lane, 285 eastbound, the inner loop Chambly Dunwoody Road, exit 30. It is stacked up the ride out of Sandy Springs. Still slow through downtown, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 7585 northbound, heavy volume starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Freedom Parkway. 7585 southbound, those delays starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a Reliable Protection Plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any system make or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
When defending bikers' rights, trust is everything and results matter. SteelHorseLaw.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Georgia Power is proud to support the hardworking line workers who keep the power flowing and our communities going. This is Scott Slade. During Line Workers Appreciation Month this April, it's a good time to remember that line crews are working every day to maintain and upgrade the power grid and are ready at a moment's notice to help restore power in harsh weather conditions. It's a rewarding career. And Georgia Power is looking to develop and hire more line workers, and you can get paid while you train. Visit georgiapower.com/thank-a-line-worker and learn more about the people behind the power.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top story. Breaking news, the son of a sheriff's deputy is accused of opening fire on the FSU campus.
CBS News special report. A mass shooting at Florida State University in Tallahassee. FSU Chief of Police Jason Trumbauer.
2 victims are deceased and 5 individuals have been transported to a local hospital with gunshot wounds. The shooter has also been transported to a local hospital.
Leon County Sheriff Walter McNeil says the 20-year-old gunman is a current student and the sheriff deputy's son.
Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
The shots were first reported around noon near the student union. Senior Cooper Oganalp was there.
I was honestly in shock. My hands were shaking. Just adrenaline kicked in. I really didn't know what to do. I started tearing up.
Police say while they do have a suspect in custody,
The student union and the surrounding area is still considered an active crime scene. Individuals should avoid the area.
CBS News special report. I'm Stacy Lynn.
Georgia Tech was scheduled to play Florida State in softball this weekend in Tallahassee. The school confirms the team was on their way to FSU this afternoon, but they had not yet arrived to Tallahassee. All of the games for this weekend are now canceled. 77 degrees in Atlanta, topping out in the mid-80s for Easter weekend. What about rain chances? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. A Barrow County judge will decide in about a month where to hold the trial for the father of the alleged Appalachia High School shooter. At a hearing today, the defense for Colin Gray argues the trial should be moved because there's no way an impartial jury can be found in Barrow County. Prosecutors say the trial should be moved no further than neighboring Walton County due to the costs of moving a trial. Members of the South Fulton Police Department mourn the loss of an officer killed in the line of duty.
Lieutenant Helio Garcia was on patrol on Flat Shoals Road when a driver veered into his lane, hitting his patrol car head-on, killing him. Chief Keith Meadows says he was an instrumental part of the agency.
When I first came aboard as the police chief, he was one of the first people that approached me and said, I want to go with you to help build this police department.
And Major Jubal Rogers calls him a trustworthy friend.
I've known Helio almost my entire career. When I was promoted to major, when I went back to field operations, the chief asked me, who did I want? I said, I want Helio.
In South Fulton, Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
The driver who hit Lieutenant Garcia, 31-year-old Santoria McLean, is in critical condition. A Paulding County Sheriff's deputy is recovering after he shot responding to a welfare check at a house in the Brookside subdivision.
Our deputy's been transported to an Atlanta area hospital where he is in stable condition.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says deputies returned fire killing the suspect, 22-year-old Jameel Johnson of Dallas. The injured deputy is identified as 24-year-old Bryce Maddock. A Northeast Georgia man is indicted on charges of human trafficking and child exploitation after traveling to Fulton County to meet a 16-year-old girl he had met online. Investigators say 26-year-old Reed Cohen Skelton of Hart County picked up the girl in Fulton County and then allegedly rented a hotel room and engaged in sex with her. He's also accused of having digital images of the encounter. An iconic Atlanta restaurant is for sale. Here's a report all new this half hour.
Art Thomas's Deluxe Grill on Peachtree Street has been offering Atlantans organic, vegan, and vegetarian food since 1985. Now owner Lene Thomas Sheltra, whose father opened the restaurant, says it's time to pass the torch.
We are really searching for somebody that's going to be a good steward of the brand and just carry the torch forward. Obviously, Atlanta's not willing to give us up, and we're not willing to go away.
They plan to heavily vet the new owner, and she says their iconic birds come with the restaurant. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 5:34. This news is sponsored by John Foy and Associates. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
And right now we're watching the ride around I-285. It is very slow. 285 eastbound, the inner loop from Riverside Drive, exit 24 over to where we've had a crash blocking a lane. Right around Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, exit 30. That's the reason for the extra traffic as you try to get over to Dorville. Once you're in Dorville, heads up for a stall. 285 eastbound, the inner loop just past I-85 Spaghetti Junction. Heroes trying to get that off to the right. Brake lights continue down into Clarkson. The outer loop, 285 westbound, slow Ashford Dunwoody Road into San Sandy Springs, and you bunch up again right around I-75 in Truist Park, staying on and off the brakes for the ride down to I-20. Earlier crash, 20 westbound, Candler Road exit 65. That has been pushed off to the right. A little bit of better news on I-85 for our Duluth commuters, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 85 southbound at Beaver Ruin Road, exit 104. Crash has cleared, but those delays remain back to Highway 316. And northbound rides, seeing you on and off the brakes starting at Duluth Highway, getting to I-985. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies this evening. Sunset around 8:15. Temperatures will be in the low 70s at that time, cooling into the upper 40s, low 50s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, breezy, and a little warmer, high 84. Saturday, morning low 60, afternoon high 86. Partly cloudy on Easter Sunday, morning low 62, afternoon high 87. Monday, clouds rolling in with an isolated rain shower possible, highs in the low 80s.
It's 80 right now in Covington, 77 in Powder Springs, 80 in Peachtree City. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
If you've been in a wreck, trust the strong arm, John Foy and Associates. Hey, it's Smiler Mark McKay. I personally recommend John Foy since I've had the pleasure of personally getting to know him. We've been to a Braves game together, had lunch, and what I've taken away from each of our visits is respect. Respect for how much he cares and wants to help people. John Foy's compassion is what I appreciate. Trust isn't a given, it's earned, and John Foy has earned my trust. I recommend John Foy and Associates at johnfoy.com.
Creation displays such a beautiful landscape. You deserve to see it all. Don't let your old, big, and bulky windows block your view.
It's Jonathan and Ted from North Georgia Replacement Windows. Brighten your home with more daylight and bigger views with Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows.
Our windows come with narrow frames giving you more light. Experience the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
A DUI conviction might cost you your license. Get the DUI lawyer, GeorgeStein.com.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home for maximum value. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home stress-free, make the most money, and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
You got your termites billed and they raised your rate again. Switch to Breda Pest Management and your rate's locked in for 10 years. BredaPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I don't understand the premise.
Well, it's quite simple. Last week I was here, and Jared said, autumn's going to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here, so I'll just stand by.
So you were just like kind of a cuck kind of thing.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But I'm not into that.
Yeah.
But did you enjoy it?
Not really.
So
Paul got to watch while Autumn did the segment.
So Paul watched
I
while
sat in the
Autumn
cup
did
chair.
did the music news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that go? Are you vying for the full-time position?
No, I'm
Okay.
not trying to usurp Paul. I know that he has, celebrity rank over me.
Mm-hmm.
But, you were out and I was wanting to participate. and,
Okay.
like,
Well, so I mean, he is kind of you're right. He's above you because you didn't make Detroit Rock City.
Yes, I did not.
You did not.
You didn't even make Animalize.
Well, yeah. Animalize, is that considered a good one or a bad one?
I think a lot of people like it.
Does that mean
It sounds like you're saying animal lies.
Animalize.
they all lie?
Lick it up.
Don't
Lick it
trust
up.
animals. They all lie.
What did you think of Lick It Up?
I
Flick
love
it
Lick
up?
No, Lick It
I
Up.
thought you said flick it up.
No,
Flick it up.
Is that off of Animalize?
I think it's
That's
its own
because
album.
Lick It Up. I'm saying, Lick It Up is the name of the album? No, Lick It Up is the single. Are you getting confused because you're old?
The body that I travel around with wasn't really into Kiss in the 80s, so he
Okay.
doesn't know.
Okay, I've got
In
you.
fact, he made fun of them a lot.
Album name and the
Oh, okay. Lick It Up was its own album name.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I said.
All right. Yeah, well, you seem to know.
I'm talking right now.
Lick It Up.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Yeah, I'm more. What was that album? Rock and Roll Over?
That's a good one.
I think that's probably the best. I know everybody goes for Destroyer, but I think that my favorite would be Rock and Roll Over.
Okay.
And, I like Destroyer. And that's about it.
Check out The Elder.
Yeah, I've checked out The Elder, ironically. You know how the kids say? Listened to it ironically, watched it ironically.
Yeah.
And if you want to enjoy the album The Elder, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Ironically, that was your concept album.
Yeah, and I wore a headband.
Well, that's how we knew it was a little bit different.
I had short hair and I wore a headband.
Yeah, because you wanted to cover up that ear.
No, I had the new ear by then.
Did you?
I think.
No, I don't think you did. I don't think you did. Because when you guys took your makeup off in those videos, you always had like a headband kind of like
That's
over
true.
that ear. So
the Elder
maybe it was new and you were afraid it was going to fall. You wanted to keep it there.
The Elder was the last album that Kiss wore makeup for.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
See, I got to get to know more about. So what's the name of the band again? Kiss?
Kiss.
Oh, okay.
And
very
guess
good.
what? No Kiss stories today.
Autumn, nothing against your delivery, which I did not hear because I was on vacation. But we're
It
gonna
was excellent.
Okay, I'm sure it was. And people tell me that you are nominated for several awards. So there's
she's getting a Gabby.
She's getting a Gabby over this.
Well, I'm not going to accept it. I'm just going to pass.
She's gonna-
I don't want to. I want to let other people, have their chance.
And this show doesn't win awards. As
Oh,
Eric
that's
has
how
brought
I.
up before.
Do you know how many times the Radio Hall of Fame, whatever it's called these days,
Friends of Georgia Radio.
have gotten to touch? Hey, you should be in. I'm like, no, let other people
No,
in. Come on, I don't need that. I got Paul
I don't
Stanley.
need to be adored on
Want a
stage.
story?
I got. I don't think we've opened up your segment yet, have we? Let's. We got to do the. There's a. Unlike
There's procedure.
We're not the new administration. We have to go through due process.
No politics. Hi, this is Paul Stanley, and this is Paul Stanley's Music News on the Von Hessler Doctrine.
Hell yeah! First show I ever saw in my life, 1977. They're coming down. This is the song, coming down on the elevators.
I remember.
You saw me.
Yeah. It's hard not to
I
see
paid
all that
10
acne.
cents for the tickets.
You saw my acne from the stage. I was like halfway back to the crowd.
I had to take a break.
not nice,
Remember
Paul.
when I took a break?
I remember when because
And
you
I
came
threw
back.
up.
Oh, really? I thought it was just so you get that fire helmet to come up because you came back out with the fire helmet on.
No, but that
it was
was
my
sexy.
acne. That was my acne. That
Yeah. I got sick. Threw up in the bed.
I was.
Hey, I just want to say Tim Andrews has seen the viral video of Andrew Dice Clay talking to me in a grocery store.
Yes.
And you don't need to send it to him anymore. Thank you.
Thank you for. You're speaking for Tim Andrews.
Yes.
Was that a setup? Do you believe Paul? Here you are, Paul. Was that for a moment? I thought you and Tim Andrews look so much alike to me.
They do.
So, was that a setup? So he goes around and he basically is arrogant for fun. Like says, hey, he has a phone. Don't you want to take a selfie
he goes
with
up
me?
to strangers and he says,
Right.
do you see the face? Hey, you wanted a picture with the face?
Paul Stanley, I didn't know you were such a good impressionist.
I can do people from New York. So he saw me and I saw him and I know Dice and then we just played it up. It was fun.
By the way, it just reminds me the lawyers are tapping me on the back. This is actually Paul Entertainment News International, Stanley. And you've got some music news for
I
us.
do. Kesha has sided with Wendy's after fast food chain mocked Katy Perry's Blue Origin mission. Can we send her back? What happened to the dollar sign in her name?
She outgrew it.
Did she drop it?
She had to use it to pay her taxes.
That's right. Yes.
She had to pay to Dr. Luke.
It was. I don't think she paid the taxes. I think that dollar sign was actually taken by the government from her.
Okay.
Is she
for not paying taxes.
Is she jealous because she didn't get to go to space?
No, she's the whole thing about
Dr. Luke.
Dr. Luke, and
Oh.
supposedly
Oh, that's right.
he was sexually. But where has she ever pressed charges against him? I mean, was there any kind of court thing that went on with this?
I'd have to look. I feel like she did, but I'm not sure.
All right. So, and then Katy Perry used him, and then they end up making some sort of song that's supposed to be a feminist thing. And after Kesha had said what he had done to her, and that's kind of where we are with all this. But why is Wendy's involved?
I don't know. These social media people.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not Wendy's.
It's not Wendy's. They get, hey, get us some hot shot 20-year-old knows what they're doing on this. Get us a snarky 21-year-old.
I find it hard to believe Dave Thomas would appreciate this.
Well, yeah. I find it hard to believe that
Rest in peace.
Dave Thomas would appreciate the level of service in the really going downhill as a fan of the Wendy's
You're not
burger.
a fan? Remember when they
I'm
had
a
a
fan
salad
of the,
bar?
Of the I'm a fan of. I'm a Wendy's guy. I've been a
those
Wendy's
Wendy's
guy.
nuggies. Oh my gosh, those are so good.
I've been
He's
a
not a
Wendy's
child.
guy.
He eats the hamburger.
I eat I'm a double cheeseburger. I
I
love
like the
it.
spicy chicken sandwich.
See, we all have our favorites, but I just have to be honest. The level, I think that there are so few good potential young fast food workers that Chick-fil-A gets them all. And I feel bad because then all the other fast food restaurants, they just have to take whatever they can get because the best are going to go to Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A still believes in good service. And not paid, never been paid a dime. As a matter of fact, I'm sure they hate the show. I'm not paid. I'm just saying that's what I have noticed.
Maybe Popeye should offer some sort of buyback or, discounts or maybe even, what do they call it when they send a kid to college?
Well, that's what Chick-fil-A does.
Yeah,
You know
but they
what,
give
when
them a thing, and I forgot the name of it.
a
Scholarship.
Scholarship.
Yeah, so like when it's kind of nice when you're in the drive-through at that time of year when those scholarships are coming through, like somebody's graduating out of Wendy's and going to college. They have all their faces and names, as you're at the drive-through, and you can see them and where they're going and what they did.
They really try to entrench themselves in the community.
Here's what
Exactly.
you don't hear at Chick-fil-A. What's your drink?
That's true. Now I love Wendy's. Don't get me wrong. I love my favorite fast food burger is Wendy's. A double cheeseburger with lettuce, pickles, ketchup, mustard. That's it.
The square burger doesn't throw you off?
Not at all. For heaven's sake.
I don't know how to eat
It's been around now since like 1975.
Well, I
Get
don't
over
go
it.
there very much.
You got to start on one of the edges, Paul, and then kind of work your way around.
I'm not an edger.
That's what we've heard. Alex Williams says there are delays on 75 in Cobb.
Yeah, watching the brake lights, I-75 northbound starting in Marietta from North Marietta Parkway. Not going to break free of the brake lights till you get up toward Highway 92 and Ackworth. 575, a little sluggish. Also making the commute up into Woodstock. Traffic Trooper Pierce spotted the crash in Forsyth County. We found it on the jam cam. Left lane block 400 northbound McFarland Parkway, exit number 12. And 285 eastbound, we still dealing with that crash at Chamblee Dunwoody Road, exit 30, blocking at least one lane. And that is made for a slow ride out of Sandy Springs, leaving Riverside Drive. Watching the slow ride through downtown, it's Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 75-85 northbound, heavy volume starting at Langford Parkway, getting to 10th Street. 85 south, your jam starting before the Georgia 400 merge. And 75 south, brake lights packing in at Morris Mill Road, both getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
When you decide to buy a natural diamond, remember Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort is an authorized Hearts on Fire jeweler. Every Hearts on Fire diamond is a piece of art, carefully and thoughtfully selected and crafted, worthy of the kind of special occasions that come along a few times in a lifetime. My friends at Tara Fine Jewelry will show you how to accurately compare diamonds with their famous personal service, so you'll know you're making a good decision. You'll see why I've been a Tara Fine Jewelry customer for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry in Beaufort.
When my grandfather, Jim Ellis, started our business in 1971, he knew it would be difficult to please every customer. However, that didn't stop him from trying. Hi, I'm Stacy Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. For over 50 years, we've built our reputation on honesty, effort, and doing what's best for our customers. That means transparent pricing and a commitment to making your car buying experience quick, easy, and convenient. We work hard to help you find the right car at the right price with a shopping experience designed around you, whether you shop in person or online at jimellis.com. Are we perfect? No. Sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we hope. Maybe there's a miscommunication or an unforeseen hiccup. We get it. When that happens, we don't make excuses, we work to make it right. That's why last year we earned nearly 14,000 positive reviews from customers who trust us to do the right thing. When you're ready for your next vehicle, trust the name that's been doing right by customers for more than 50 years. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America. fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Enter now at overheaddooratlanta.com. You can't win if you don't enter. Go to overheaddooratlanta.com. Has your driveway, sidewalk, or patio cracked and become uneven? AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can fix it. Simply book your appointment online at aquaguard.net and AquaGuard will quickly and expertly get it back in shape. Concrete issues? Remember, AquaGuard.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long,
and your budget is tight,
and your village is busy,
and the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Joe Salciha, host of the Stacking Benjamin Show. We are diving into what should be in your little emergency go bag. What goes into your financial go bag?
Passport, driver's license, social security card.
Cash, credit cards, my wallet.
The most important thing, your master password.
OG just gave us the guns. That's all he needs.
Meaning the bicep.
Come and get them. You never knew personal finance could be this fun. What's a big can of Colt 45 cost?
Stackers Anonymous. Is that about $3.50?
That's what I
Dr.
need,
Pepper.
my go bag. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Boy, I'd hate to have to compete with those guys.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Do you know the producer? I could use another gig.
I'll get his number. He's in my Rolodex.
Okay.
I still have a Rolodex.
You do?
The good old days.
I'm off the grid, man.
You know they have these things called phones.
I know, but Paul, aren't you? Paul, Entertainment News International, Stanley.
Yes, Eric.
You've been through this. The world before the internet, the world after the internet.
Yeah.
And I tried for years to kind of hang on and go, it's better, it's better. It's not. I miss the old world.
Oh, the old world was much better.
But now listen.
You had anonymity?
Some things are better now. There are some things. There's progress. Whether the media wants to admit it or not, I've lived in this country. Race relations are better now than they were then. There's some things that are better. Gay couples can get married. I don't want to take away everything.
I'm for that, yeah.
Go back to the 1950s. But I'm saying I liked the world before the internet, before the social media, before apps for everything, the world was better.
The 70s were a sweet spot.
Well, in the 70s, people said it was awful because it was like a hangover from the 60s. But I was a kid in the 70s, and Evel Knievel was fantastic.
He was
and
awesome.
So it was a good time.
You didn't have to card everybody that got in your bed with you?
Yeah, well, okay. I think maybe that was a good. I think it's better now that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I think it's better now on that one.
I think you just gotta, come out with me for a couple weekends. I bet you'll
Christine
you'll quickly.
16,
No, what I'll say,
quickly
no, what I'll say,
change.
I'll go out with you and I'll probably have fun. But I guarantee you, wherever we are, I'm going to see a bunch of people who are about your age and younger, and they'll all have their phones out and they'll all be looking at their phones. And if
Not my crew.
Whenever everybody's doing the same thing, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It can't be good. It can't be good when you live in a society where every single person enjoys video games. That can't be good. Every kid plays video. That can't be good. You need variety. You need the kid who goes, I ain't playing video games.
They're playing different games.
Well, okay, is that variety? I guess it is.
Kids who played video games when we grew up were nerds.
Well, kind of.
Mostly.
I mean, I don't know. All my friends did it, and I would just go hang out with them at like the arcade in the bowling alley, and I would just have fun
Well,
while
that was
they
different.
played.
I'm talking about home gaming.
Well, yeah, which I was already older by the time that really took off. Although I am from the Pong generation. I was about 10 or so, and boop, boop, boop.
That was
And
fun for like an hour.
And you could go faster.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, you still went outside because you're not going to sit in all day and go boop.
No. Yeah, now these games are super immersive.
Now the NFL has to have commercials to tell kids to go outside and play 60 minutes a day. That's the world now.
My cousins and I have...
And all the diabetes. I can't imagine where it's coming from.
I remember my aunt and uncle told my cousins when we were kids that we had to go be outside. Didn't specify what we had to do, and we were super into gaming at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we were smart. We took a TV without our aunt seeing it, or without my aunt seeing it, and we
you
took
guys
our...
were up to some. You guys were naughty.
Took our video games, and we put the game console and the TV on the roof of their house. So we were outside.
Yeah.
And playing video games.
Well, listen, how could you see it? Was it an overcast,
kind of a cloudy day?
Yeah,
All
right.
fine.
Extension cord.
Yeah, that extension cord going through a window.
That's pathetic.
You get on
Why
the
weren't
roof
you
and you have fun. You look at the clouds.
You get on a bike.
Yeah, and
We're having
you dare somebody to
fun.
jump off of it.
How is it
We
that,
had records to break on Super Smash Brothers.
How could it not be that we live in a world where 11-year-olds are not on their bikes constantly? Because mom and dad are so scared. I saw on CNN they might get hurt out there. Just stay inside. Stay inside, my little precious butterfly, where I know you won't get hurt. Yeah, and I'll pay for the diabetes drugs. Oh, you want to give stuff away?
Yeah, let's be
I'll give
nice.
stuff away. Here we go. La, 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 la. All right, 2 tickets to see Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on Thursday. Mr. Bojangles. On Thursday, August. Oh, I felt like Trump there, like Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles, boy, could he dance.
On Thursday, August 28th, at the Atlanta Symphony Hall. Be caller number 10 to 404-872-0750. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com.
556 in the traffic center, heads up for a crash in Forsyth County. Left lane knocked out, 400 northbound McFarland Parkway, exit 12. That is slowing the ride back out of Alpharetta, back toward Old Milton Parkway. We also have a stall in the center lane in Dunwoody, 285 east, the Interloop Chamblee Dunwoody Road, exit 30, adding to the brake lights through Sandy Springs. And a travel advisory now by the airport. Crash, 2 right lanes, 285 northbound, the Interloop Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2, already slowed back before Washington Road. Take I-85 or Highway 29 as your alternates. Now we got a travel advisory on I-20 into Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's going westbound, 20 westbound before Candler Road, exit 65. Crash and heavy police activity knocking out multiple right lanes. Seeing heavy delays back into Stonecrest. You can avoid it by using Glenwood Road or Memorial Drive as alternates. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's the active season here in the ATL. Are you going to be active or inactive because of chronic joint pain? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at QC Kinetics. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Atlanta are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. With QC Kinetics, the science solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Get out and be active this summer. Golfing, swimming, tennis. Heck, pickleball seems to be picking up speed. Get out there and be active. Don't let your chronic joint pain hold you back. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. Consultation totally free, and they're happy to take a look and see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now, the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026 for QC Kinetics.
Big Box Paint hates Rhino Shield. Why?
Because traditional paint chips, flakes, and peels, leaving homeowners just like you caught in an endless cycle of repainting your home.
They hate that Rhino Shield can protect and coat your home for decades. They hate that Rhino Shield insulates and makes your home more energy efficient. And they really hate that Rhino Shield is backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
Say goodbye to paint and say hello to durability that lasts.
Veteran owned, made right here in the USA. Go to rhinoshieldga.com for your free evaluation.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid not just once, but twice. It's possible with Orchard. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket. That lets you snag your dream home now. While you're settling in, Orchard experts are hard at work preparing and marketing your old home, taking care of repairs, showings, even adding price-boosting upgrades. Why choose Orchard? Because when your home sells for more, like it does 9 times out of 10, you get that extra cash too. It's like getting paid twice. Orchard unlocks cash from your old home for your new one. That's payday number 1. You buy your new place, and Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. Boom. payday number 2. Ready to make it happen? Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
EMC Security.
Meet EMC Security's hero of the home.
After some break-ins in my neighborhood, it got me thinking about my family's security. A friend recommended EMC Security, so I called them. Now I have peace of mind that my family is safe without having to sign a long-term contract.
Way to go, Sarah. Be the hero of your home with no contracts, fast and reliable monitoring, and rates as low as $16.95.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top story, stunning details about the alleged shooter in today's shooting rampage on the campus of FSU.
CBS News special report. 2 are dead, 5 injured after a mass shooting at Florida State University.
We got the desks and started piling them up against the door. It was pretty hectic.
A suspect is in custody.
20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, and he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy.
This is Leon County's Walter McNeil.
We will make sure that we do everything we can to prosecute and make sure that we send a message to folks that this will never be tolerated here in Leon County.
Multiple law enforcement agencies had raced to the scene, which CBS's Scott McFarland says was a similar scene for some.
There are a number of students on that campus today who were students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas in 2018, who were freshmen at that campus and have now gone through 2 of these things.
This FSU student says,
when things like this happen constantly and then there's no change around it, it ruins our future.
CBS News special report. I'm Stacy Lynn.
Georgia Tech's softball team is impacted by the FSU shooting.
A social media post and written statement from Georgia Tech Associate Athletics Director Mike Flynn says that the Yellow Jackets softball team was headed to play Florida State this weekend in Tallahassee. But due to the active shooter situation on FSU's campus, all games Friday through Sunday in Tallahassee have been canceled. Georgia Tech Athletics sends its deepest condolences to the Florida State community in light of the tragic incident. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
79 degrees in Atlanta, much warmer for a few days before the rain returns. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. We'll soon know the location for the trial of the father of the alleged Appalachia High School shooter.
Colin Gray, accused of giving his teen son the gun used in the massacre, wants his trial outside Barrow County, way outside.
What we need to do is to find a place where we can get an impartial and fair jury.
Prosecutors are okay with moving the trial, but only to Walton County next door, saying there's a lot to consider.
The cost, the impact on the witnesses, the availability of hotel accommodations. The law says you shall consider these things.
The judge expected to rule within 30 days. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A Paulding County Sheriff's deputy is recovering after he is shot in the line of duty.
Paulding County deputies went to a home on Hemlock Glen in the Brookside subdivision to conduct a welfare check. Upon arrival, the deputies encountered a man at the home.
He pulled a weapon and shot one of our deputies, wounding him, and the other deputies fired back and fatally wounded the suspect.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says the wounded deputy, identified as 24-year-old Bryce Maddock, is expected to be okay.
Our deputy's been transported to an Atlanta area hospital where he is in stable condition.
He says the GBI has now been called in to conduct the investigation. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A convicted sex offender is taken into custody after a SWAT standoff in Cartersville. After Bartow County Sheriff's deputies and U.S. Marshals showed up at a townhouse, the man ran and barricaded himself inside.
We evacuated the people to the right and to the left of the target location, and we began our negotiation process, which went on for quite a while.
Major Mark Mayton with the Bartow County Sheriff's Office says it took SWAT about 5 hours to enter the home and arrest the man. They used tear gas to get him out. Some international students whose visas have been revoked will have to wait a bit longer to learn a judge's decision in their challenge.
Judge Victoria Calvert says she's inclined to rule in favor of the temporary order for the 133 students in this case, 26 of whom are here in Georgia. But she's giving both sides time to provide more information. Immigration attorney Charles Cook says,
when the government doesn't follow the rules, it requires people to stand up.
That's what these students are doing.
Lawyers for the government say no real harm has been done to these students and they could follow reinstatement procedures. The judge has set a hearing for next Thursday to rule on a permanent injunction on the cancellations. At federal court, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It is 6:04. The Von Haessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it is triple team traffic, and it begins with Alex Williams.
Very busy afternoon out on the Metro Interstates build. Travel advisory coming up toward the airport crash. 2 right lanes, 285 northbound, the Interloop Camp Creek Parkway exit 2. Jammed up leaving I-85. Use 85 north or Highway 29 as alternates there. Another travel advisory in DeKalb County, I-20 westbound, Candler Road exit 65. Just the HOV lane is getting by this crash. Adding to the brake lights coming from outside of the perimeter. Glenwood Road is an alternate to get you around that one. And a big jam out of Alpharetta into Forsyth County. Crash 400 northbound McFarland Parkway exit 12. That is in the left lane. The tough delays start back in Alpharetta at Old Milton Parkway. And plenty of brake lights through Midtown and downtown, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 75-85 southbound. Those brake lights starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20, and 75-85 north. Heavy volume starting at Langford Parkway, getting to 10th Street. From the Cool Lake Area Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies this evening. Sunset around 8:15. Temperatures will be in the low 70s at that time, cooling into the upper 40s, low 50s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, breezy, and a little warmer, high 84. Saturday, morning low 60, afternoon high 86. Partly cloudy on Easter Sunday, morning low 62, afternoon high 87. Monday, clouds rolling in with an isolated rain shower possible, highs in the low 80s.
76 in Locust Grove, 75 in Lawrenceville, 77 now in Vinings. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Wave them high. Wave those 4 fingers proud, Carrot. Caiaccio.
Carrot.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Hour 4 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now with a hearty congratulations to Marilyn Holcomb of Gainesville, who referred to Jared as, she said, "Thank you, sweetheart." And
I loved it.
Absolutely. Very nice. Obviously a very nice lady to win 2 tickets to see Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on Thursday, August 28th at the Atlanta Symphony Hall. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. Now, I think that people who listen to this show, if they've listened long enough, and if you don't listen every day, I don't know what you're doing. I can't help you. But for those who
it's their own fault.
I can't help.
They have destructive personalities if they don't listen to the show every day.
You listen. You try to get in there. You can't save the world, right? You just have to accept the fact that not everybody's going to do the things that are best for them. By the way, but that's okay. But plenty of people understand that one of the things that I find just awful on radio is when the host reads from a newspaper article or from a book or anything. But every once in a while, the exception that proves the rule, or maybe it won't be.
You don't know till you try.
Paul, is that you or is that Tim?
No, that was Tim.
Okay.
Soft.
Is that soft Tim?
Soft Tim.
You won't know until you try.
Won't know until you try.
Can we hear a little more soft Tim? I like soft Tim.
All musically gifted race driver Lucky Jackson once in Las Vegas is to score enough money for a new car motor.
See, I think they would tune out. I think that if you just keep reading.
Well, that's a lot of audiobooks are written this way.
That's right. So
I read.
Gotta hear a lot of the slurping in the audiobook.
Breathing.
The spit in the background. Ugh.
Then I unzipped my pants.
Like one of the. All right.
The dragon showed up.
The reason that I'm doing this, I want you to know, the reason I'm doing this is to try to make a point here. That's not so much, we all know, this is from the book Fight by Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes. And it covers, basically it starts at the disastrous debate for Biden and goes through the election. And it's all the behind the scenes stuff. It's a fun read. It's you don't have to be a policy wonk. It's just like, it's like the Real Housewives of D.C., basically. You're just seeing all the drama that's going on behind the scenes. But the point that I want to make is compare what is in here. Well, this is insiders who are telling the story to these reporters. Compare what's going on behind the scenes now that we know through this book. It's nothing in here, as far as I know, has been disputed. And then the presentation on television by people. And just to say, look, I'm not naive, and I don't think you're naive. I just think that we all get so used to politicians and how it works that we forget sometimes. We get caught up in the rhetoric and what they say, which is fine if they believe what they're saying. And if they're not coming at you just like I'm sorry to use cars salesman. Many of you are very good people, but I just use the term meaning that kind of, they're selling you and they're not going to tell you anything that would hurt the sale. And that's hypocrisy to me. I want leaders who say, this is the thing. Well, look, if you agree with that, my opponent, vote for my opponent. That's the kind of leaders that I want. I believe this, and my opponent believes that. And this is about, and I will explain to you today why I believe what I believe, and I'll sit and listen, and we'll listen to my opponent, and then it's up to you, and it's okay. That's the kind of leadership I want. I don't want these power-hungry people who just will say and twist anything to get the power. And so that's the point I'm making here. It's just always remember that they're lying at some level. Now, this picks up after we already know that Obama behind the scenes absolutely did not want Kamala Harris to be on the ticket. He also wanted Biden to step down much earlier. He didn't even want Biden to run in 2020. And there's all these rivalries going on in the camps. So Biden is pissed at Obama and still is to this day because Obama took so much time to endorse him in 2020. The Biden camp had tension with the Harris camp from the very beginning because Jill Biden never, to this day, has forgiven Kamala Harris for basically calling her husband a racist. That's in some of the stuff I'm going to read here in that debate. So you've got Obama working against Biden and Harris, and you've got the Biden camps and Harris working against each other. But what were you presented with? So I will give let me put on my old man reading glasses. Thank you. A reading from Fight by Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes. Fun book to read. I will say that. Fun book to read. So this picks up where nobody knew that Biden, they knew he was probably going to drop out. I'm talking about the Harris people. They kind of knew he was going to drop out, but they didn't know when. So we'll pick it up there. Biden is getting ready to do it. He's on his porch. Biden signed into the conference call with senior White House and campaign staff from his screened-in porch at 1:45 p.m. Tomasini, just out of sight, this is an aide of his, swiped down on her phone over and over to refresh her X feed. They had just released the fact that he was going to get out of the race on X. When Butler posted the tweet, as directed, she swung into Biden's view and gave him a thumbs-up sign. It was out in the world. There was no turning back. I just can't fight Democrats and Republicans at the same time, he said on the call. Harris did not have time for a pinch me moment, at least not yet. Her aides set up a modern war room on her dining room table with laptops and cell phones at the ready and called for reinforcements to help wrangle delegates. Harris already had the most important piece in place. Biden, sure, she was his vice president. And yeah, it would have looked bad to pass over her, hypocritical even, since he'd been so sore for so long about Obama hanging him out to dry in 2016. I'm not talking about 20. This is 2016 when he's mad because basically Obama was in the Hillary camp at that time. But the most satisfying aspect of his decision to endorse had little to do with Harris. It was a big FU to Obama's plan, said one person close to both men. At that moment, you have very few things you can control, and that's the one thing he had control over, and he chose to stick it to Obama. In truth, there was little love lost between the Biden and Harris camps. First Lady Jill Biden had never gotten over Harris hammering her husband over school busing on a debate stage in 2019, all but calling him a racist. Over the previous 3 weeks, Biden's team, and this is what I want you to point attention to right here, when you think about what you were seeing from these people when they were on TV at the time and what they were saying. Over the previous 3 weeks, Biden's team had inflicted serious reputational damage on Harris with Democratic insiders, to say nothing of the 3+ years before that. So Biden's team had played on her reputation to help save him. In the middle of July, with more Democrats clamoring for his exit, the Biden-Harris campaign conducted data trackers, basically rapid-fire polls of how Harris and other potential Biden alternatives stacked up. The point was to show that she wasn't ready for prime time. So that's going on behind the scenes within the administration. Biden's closest aides used these polls to scare party elites away from pushing for a change at the top of the ticket. They wanted to sow doubt that she was ever going to be able to put it together, said one Harris advisor. Harris grinned and bore it. She would only hurt her reputation if she showed anything but loyalty to Biden when he was on the ropes. She often spoke publicly of her affection for him, and there were a few signs that the principals did not get along well. But now that he had thrown in the towel, she knew locking down delegates would be harder because of the way his team disparaged her to fellow Democrats. Pelosi, the Democrat who put the most public pressure on Biden, didn't want her. Her assessment was there were other better candidates who didn't have Harris's negatives, but that anyone would be better for House and Senate races than Biden, said one Pelosi confidant. In private conversations, Obama flat out told allies she would lose to Trump. Now, that's what was really going on. And the only reason I read that little section, and by the way, it wasn't fluid on the page, I jumped around a little bit. The reason that I bring it up is so that we can stop having amnesia every time there's a campaign. What you're hearing is rhetoric. I'm not telling you something you don't know. I'm just reminding you to remind yourself. So all of the insiders, and when Trump won and Harris lost, all of these same people showed up on, not all of them, but many of them. You saw many people, and then personalities like Joey Behar. Remember that first 2 or 3 weeks where it was like, well, he lost because people are misogynistic and racist. And these were insiders. Other people besides Joy Behar were saying this. So is Obama a misogynist racist? Because we now know that he never wanted Kamala Harris, ever, to be at the top of the ticket.
What about that phone call where they endorsed?
Oh, the endorsement, the weirdest.
You got a great shot at it, kid.
Most awkward endorsement of all time. We just really want to have fun on this show usually, but the political point of view of this show is just to say, don't buy the BS. Don't buy the BS. The only rational way to vote in this country is to decide, and you could be wrong, but just from your own point of view, which one of these candidates will hurt me least? To throw your heart and soul and believe in these people. This is what's always going on behind the scenes. So is Biden a misogynist and a racist because his people were trying to keep Kamala Harris out of it and him in it, and going around say, hey, you don't want her going to the money people? Is he a misogynist and a racist? All of these people, when they show up on TV and they tell you that it's this or that, it's all orchestrated. What I just read to you is what goes on behind the scenes in every administration. I hope they write a book after this one, because what you are told and what you maybe believe is that in that administration, everyone's walking lockstep. I read these books all the time after administrations. That's never the case. That's never the case. It's never truly unified. And it's just a lesson. And I know people know it's rhetoric and they understand that it's politics, but we've gotten to this 50-50 situation now where you got to check yourself. Are you into it more than the actual candidate that you love? Who, if they get another poll that says go this way, they'll just leave you behind? It's a game to them. It's always a game. Part of the game is to make you believe it's existential if the other side wins. You read these books, it's always like, how can we portray the end of the world coming if the other side wins? Doesn't matter which side it is. So it's just, I don't know, how should I put it? Just keep it in your mind. Keep it in your mind. They're always lying to some degree. Always. All of them. Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 285 by the airport.
Crash 285 northbound, the Interloop Canton Creek Parkway exit 2. 2 right lanes are knocked out. You're jammed, leaving I-85. Use Highway 29 or I-85 north passing the airport as an alternate. Elsewhere, we just picked up a new crash in Marietta. Left lane knocked out. 75 southbound North Marietta Parkway exit 265. Long-standing stall been there way too long in the center lane. 285 eastbound, the Interloop Chamblee-Dunwoody Road exit 30. You're slow back into Sandy Springs. And a travel advisory into cab. Crash police activity. 20 westbound Candler Road exit 65. 3 right lanes are blocked. Adding to the brake lights coming over before Wesley Chapel. Use Glenwood Road as your alternate. Been watching a crash on Georgia 400 and Forsyth County. Kobe Dawkins.
It's going northbound right at McFarland Parkway, exit 12. Left lane crash causing you to slow, leaving Alpharetta. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Mosquitoes are annoying and can be dangerous. Let Active Pest Control help keep your yard mosquito-free year-round. For your $69 initial mosquito control service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, Taxman got you down?
How about a $1,000 pickup?
Win $1,000. 5 different keywords. 5 chances every weekday.
I just won $1,000 on WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Beginning Monday, April 21st.
Download the WSB app. Rules and info at WSBRadio.com/cash.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Aram here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with a team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Some things get better with age, but not your home's siding and windows. If your house is showing its age and needs a facelift, it's only going to get worse. New siding and windows are the perfect fix. Dave Baker here for my siding and window experts, Nelson Exteriors. With Nelson Exteriors, you choose the window that's right for your home and budget from many top-rated manufacturers like Anderson and MI. And Nelson is a licensed and insured James Hardy Elite Preferred Siding contractor. For unmatched quality and craftsmanship, Google Nelson Exteriors.
Beaver Direct Certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with the industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at BeaverToyotaCumming.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
So yeah, if you think about, Shelley reminded me, after reading what I just read from that book, Fight, he reminded me that once Harris was the candidate, Obama was out there telling black men that they were wrong if they didn't vote for Harris, yet through this book we know how hard he worked behind the scenes to make sure that she didn't become the nominee. It's just a game. It's a game to them. By the way, these people, they're sending a book to Shelley, and then they're going to book an interview. We don't know exactly when, but the authors of this book will be on Shelley Winter's show at some point in the next week or two.
Do they say in the book who Obama preferred as a candidate or Pelosi?
I don't think that they really had a preference. What they wanted was
a primary.
They wanted to do some kind of quick primary.
They should have done that.
And at the end of that chapter, the authors make the point that if Biden really cared about nothing more than beating Trump, then he never would have gotten into the race, and he would have allowed an actual primary so that you could have somebody stronger.
He could have dropped out before the primaries began.
But also the book kind of shows that he was kept in a bubble. They only showed him good news. All the stuff that we know about the cognitive decline, they all knew about when they were going on TV and saying that, no, he's sharp as a tack. It's all a game to them. And I feel like the voter gets exploited if they allow themselves to forget. The people that I don't know, it seems, I don't want to say feel sorry, but actually anger toward, but they're young. The people I can't stand the most is the young in their 20s, 23, 24, 25, becoming part of this system, becoming part of the campaigns. And, maybe they all are idealistic at first, but it's not long. I met a couple, and Jared did kind of a millennial thing around the election. I saw a couple of these people. They're 23, 24 years old, and they're already, you get in because you're idealistic, but once you're in, your job is to win. And, just ask Bill Belichick. You do what you have to do to win.
Yeah.
And it becomes a game. It becomes a game. And I'm not saying that could ever be taken away. What I'm saying is always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. Always.
There's going to be flaws with the candidate that you fall in love with. That's
right. But even the candidate itself, a candidate can be good or bad. But these people behind the scenes are just always doing everything they can to spin bad news into good news and good news into great news. And they don't care about truth or reality. They care about winning. That's what they're supposed to do. Dale Earnhardt, knock you out of the way, get the checkered flag. That's what they care about, not you. Alex Williams says there's trouble on 75 in Marietta.
Yeah, just found a stalled camper being hauled by a pickup truck. It's in the center lane, 75 northbound, South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. That's going to add to the brake lights that'll creep back toward Delk Road and Windy Hill. Southbound, they pushed a crash off to the right, 75 southbound at North Marietta Parkway. You're slow there. Heads up for this lingering crash in the left lane and for Forsyth County, 400 northbound, McFarland Parkway, exit 12. You're slow at Alpharetta from Old Milton Parkway. And this stalled big rig in Dunwoody, 285 eastbound, the Interloop Chamblee Dunwoody Road, exit 30. Think might be blocking two center lanes now, and that is added to the delays from Roswell Road. Earlier crash, I-20 westbound into Cab at Candler Road is cleared, but still pretty slow ride back in Lithonia as you leave Panola Road. How's it looking through Midtown and downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's not good. 75-85 southbound, heavy brake lights starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20, and 75-85 north, seeing you jam starting at Langford Parkway, getting to 10th Street. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Looking for a great dining memory, y'all? Hey, it's Belinda. I love the amazing Southern food and service at Old Vinings Inn. If you haven't been there yet, you're missing out. Nestled in the heart of Vinings, that charming house offers a cozy, upscale, and welcoming atmosphere, perfect for any occasion. Romantic dinner, baby or bridal shower, business dinner, night out with friends. Old Vinings Inn has you covered. Indulge in delectable Southern cuisine, crafted with the freshest ingredients. Savor their signature fried green tomatoes and fried chicken, or delight in the rich flavors of my favorite, shrimp and grits. Everything on the menu is a winner. You thirsty? The curated wine list and handcrafted cocktails are sure to impress. Enjoy all that plus live entertainment and specials at the Attic Bar. Wednesday through Saturday nights. Ready for fun and flavor now, y'all? Open for lunch and brunch Thursday through Sunday and dinner Wednesday through Saturday. Reserve your table or large groups today at Old Vinings Inn.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
404-793-0000, 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Atlanta.
It's the active season here in the ATL. Are you going to be active or inactive because of chronic joint pain? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at QC Kinetics. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Atlanta are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. With QC Kinetics, the science solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Get out and be active this summer. Golfing, swimming, tennis. Heck, pickleball seems to be picking up speed. Get out there and be active. Don't let your chronic joint pain hold you back. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. Consultation totally free, and they're happy to take a look and see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now, the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026 for QC Kinetics.
At Superior Pro, we use the highest quality materials and the best techniques in windows, siding, painting, doors, and more. Visit SuperiorPro.com.
Superior Pro, the pros to know.
Clean the spring pollen and allergens out of your home the easy way with the Zero-Res Air Duct Experts. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get 50% off your next air duct cleaning. Just use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroResAtlanta.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top story: students at Florida State take cover after hearing of an active shooter on campus.
We got the desks and started piling them up against the door. It was pretty hectic.
2 people are killed. They are not students. 6 others are injured. Leon County Sheriff Walter McNeil reveals shocking details on the suspect.
The shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, and he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy.
The suspect is injured after he shot by responding officers. The shooting happened near a crowded student union during lunchtime. Classes at FSU are canceled the rest of the week, and all athletic events are canceled, including Georgia Tech's softball game scheduled against Florida State this weekend. 77 degrees in Atlanta, hitting the mid-80s for a few days. When do rain chances return? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. A Barrow County judge will decide in about a month where to hold the trial for the father of the alleged Appalachia High School shooter. At a hearing today, the defense for Colin Gray argues the trial should be moved because there's no way an impartial jury can be found in Barrow County. Prosecutors say the trial should be moved no further than neighboring Walton County due to the costs of moving a trial. A Cartersville neighborhood is the site of a wild 5-hour standoff today.
U.S. Marshals attempted to arrest a convicted sex offender at 204 Iron Belt Court when he barricaded himself inside. Major Mark Mayton with the Bartow County Sheriff's Office.
He broke through 2 additional apartments through the sheetrock in the walls, and at the 3rd apartment, we were able to isolate him and take him into custody.
Major Mayton says it took SWAT about 5 hours to arrest the man, and about a dozen people had to be evacuated from the complex. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
A South Fulton police officer killed in the line of duty is remembered by his coworkers.
A routine patrol down Flat Shoals Road turns tragic when an oncoming driver veers into Lieutenant Helio Garcia's lane. He died in that head-on collision. South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows calls it a complete shock.
You expect to go on a call where you might have to get physical with an individual, or you might have to pull out your service weapon, but you don't expect when you're just driving down the street that you might be met with your end.
The driver, 31-year-old Santoria McLean, is in the hospital in critical condition. In South Fulton, Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A deputy with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office is shot in the line of duty. He is now in stable condition.
Deputies responded to a welfare check on an individual, and when they made contact with that individual in the home, he pulled a weapon and shot one of our deputies, wounding him.
Sheriff Ashley Henson says they expect 24-year-old Bryce Maddock to recover. The suspect, 22-year-old Jameel Johnson of Dallas, was killed when deputies returned fire. A Metro Atlanta jail guard ends up on the wrong side of the bars.
The DeKalb Sheriff's Office says 22-year-old detention officer Tony Randall was bringing contraband into the county lockup. No word exactly what the Stone Mountain resident was smuggling into the jail, but he's charged with violating his oath and crossing guard lines with weapons, intoxicants, and/or drugs, both felonies. He was arrested at the lockup, fired, and then released on $5,000 bond. Randall had been with the DeKalb Sheriff's Office for only 7 7 months. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A longtime Atlanta restaurant puts out a for sale sign.
Since 1985, R. Thomas's Deluxe Grill on Peachtree Street has been serving organic, vegan, and vegetarian options to customers. Now owner Lene Thomas Sheltra, whose father opened the restaurant, says it's time to move on.
I think I just decided, you know what, I'm going to live my life. And I know Atlanta loves R. Thomas. Who doesn't? It's a great place, a great history, and it needs to continue.
She says they plan to heavily vet whoever buys it. Oh, and their tropical birds? They come with the restaurant. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It is now 6:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
It has not been a fun Thursday afternoon and evening commute out there, Bill. Travel advisory continues coming up from the toward the airport. 285 northbound, the inner loop, Canton Creek Parkway exit 2. Crash still in 2 right lanes there. That's cooked the ride back to I-85. Use Highway 29 or 85 north passing the airport as an alternate. Elsewhere, stalled Big Rig 285 eastbound. Inner loop Chamblee Dunwoody Road exit 30. That's in 2 center lanes. Very slow back to Riverside Drive. 75 and 400 south are both pretty jammed up as alternates. And we got a stall in Marietta, 75 northbound, South Marietta Parkway exit 263. That sits in a center lane. Been watching this crash on Georgia 400 for a while as well, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, and it's going northbound right at McFarland Parkway exit 12, left lane blocked due to that crash. If you want to avoid the brake lights leaving Alpharetta, use Highway 9 as an alternate. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies this evening. Sunset around 8:15. Temperatures will be in the low 70s at that time, cooling into the upper 40s, low 50s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, breezy, and a little warmer, high 84. Saturday, morning low 60, afternoon high 86. Partly cloudy on Easter Sunday, morning low 62, afternoon high 87. Monday, clouds rolling in with an isolated rain shower possible, highs in the low 80s.
Right now it's 77 in Midtown Atlanta, 73 in Dunwoody, and 78 in Noonan. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shelley Winter for D. Geller & Son. When I was looking for an engagement ring, I could have gone anywhere, but I wanted to go to a place where I knew I could get better quality hand-picked diamonds and an unbeatable value. An incredible selection, custom designs, and they have on-site jewelers and an expert staff helped me because they're trained gemologists. They have 3 convenient locations, Atlanta, Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com. Go to dgeller.com right now and be like me. Get the best quality diamond you'll ever get for her in your life.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save more with our weekly digital deals. Select boxes of Nabisco Ritz crackers are only $1.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get back on your feet, medical bills paid, and your case resolved. SteelHorseLaw.com.
This is Anthony George, the pastor of First Baptist Church of Atlanta. Easter Sunday is when we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. And for millions of people around the world, it's also a day when God assures us of His unfailing love. I want to personally invite you to attend one of our Easter morning services at First Baptist Atlanta. To find out more, visit our website at fba.org. We hope to see you there.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Arum back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
It only happens once a year. It's always fun. It's our signature Sign and Drive event. All you got to do is sign and drive with no money down and no payments for 90 days. Plus, at Beaver Toyota, you'll receive exclusive Beaver benefits with your new car. Benefits like no-charge oil changes and car washes. And yes, even complimentary loaner cars and a lifetime powertrain warranty. It's our annual Sign and Drive event. Now, this is the way car buying should be. Only at Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you.
All right, before we get to Trump thumbs up, thumbs down, just to put a cherry on this conversation we've been having after I read from this book, Fight, and what was going on behind the scenes during the last campaign. Just let this get into your mind. This is what happened. Obama, a black man, first black president, did everything he could behind the scenes to keep Kamala Harris from becoming the nominee of the party. Then, once she became the nominee, he gave several speeches admonishing black men for not supporting her like they should. That's politics in America, ladies and gentlemen. Never forget it. Never forget it. Now, I think we are actually going to do this thing I've been promising for so long.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so am I.
It's replacing Homer No Thanks.
For a moment. Trump or no thanks? Trump or no thanks. Trump's thumbs up, thumbs down. Trump makes so much news on a daily basis. I can't go through all of it, so we're just going to have this little thing for a while where you just give me the headline. I'll give you a thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe a sentence or something.
Do you want the source for these or no?
No, just give me the headline.
Okay, all right. Trump blasts Fed Chair Powell, saying his termination cannot come fast enough, Eric.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down. I know there's a lot of people don't even think there should be a Fed. Maybe that's a different argument. But you don't make the economy better by going after the Fed chairman. There's no thing where that becomes a better situation. As a matter of fact, I think the stock market dropped when it happened. Also, by the way, doesn't it mean that aren't you admitting your own failure? Jerome Powell was your nominee. You're the one who put him there. So thumbs down.
Well, somebody told me to put him there.
I know that. I understand. But thumbs down on that one.
All right.
All right, our next one. Trump blocked Israeli proposed joint attack on Iran to pursue nuclear deal.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Turns
out
World
War III.
Turns out when Netanyahu was here a little bit, that's what it was all about. They talked about like it was going to be other stuff. It was all about they had plans to bomb Iran. They can't do it without us. And he said no, and now he's using that. This is his deal when he's dealing maybe correctly. We'll see how it turns out. Now Iran knows that he stopped that, and basically it's and now they're negotiating. We're having a second round of negotiations this weekend. I think somewhere in the Middle East. I can't remember which country. And with Iran, directly between Iran and the United States concerning their nuclear program. So thumbs up to that one.
Maybe we'll trade a first-round pick for 2 second rounds or something.
I think that's fine. You know, send Aaron Rodgers. Whatever you need to do.
No, we're not sending that weirdo. No weirdo.
Hey, RFK loves him.
Yeah, they're buddies.
That he's a little odd as well.
Next.
All right, Trump said it out loud. He wants to deport Americans to El Salvador.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
I've got the audio of this, by the way.
I'd like to go a step further. I mean, I said it to Pam. I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, but you'll have to be looking at the laws on that, Steve. Okay?
Well, at least at the end, he said you have to be looking at the laws. I'm going to give that idea a thumbs down. It sounds to me like he's just kind of talking off the top of his head. Hey, remember when Republicans told Obama he wasn't a king with the Dreamers? Remember that whole thing?
Oh my
Boy,
gosh,
politics in America. Politics in America just jumps up and down and all around, doesn't it? Okay, next.
The Trump administration is set to end the IRS's direct file program per source.
Thumbs down, although I'm sure if I got more information, I would find out that it's bloated and maybe we're spending too much money. But most laws tell you what you can't do in America. With the IRS, you're being told that you have to do it. And if you have to do it, then I think the government should try to make it as easy as possible. And if you're worried about being hacked in your information, that's happened long ago to the Social Security Administration.
What is direct file? I mean, e-file?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah,
he's taking it away. You want to know why? Because the people who do the taxes and prepare the taxes are in his ear. So thumbs down on that one.
All right, firework industry urges Trump to consider tariff exemption as it warns 4th of July celebrations could be imperiled nationwide.
I don't know if that's a thumbs up or thumbs down one. I think it's just like, okay, that's the result of the fact that if you're going to have a trade war and be this harsh back and forth between China and the United States. That's not really a thumbs up, thumbs down. I want stories that the Trump administration says, we want to do this or we want to do that.
All right, U.S. tries to crush China's AI ambitions with chips crackdown.
The AI chips, the NVIDIA chips that are really good. Didn't China already show us that they're doing better on AI with less chips? I don't know. I don't know that I even don't know that I even really believe that story. I'm going to say thumbs up on this because, I don't want to go to war with China, but this is a back and forth, and we're kind of in a Cold War, and I think AI is going to destroy everybody eventually, but apparently we have to be the first ones there. So that's our policy. Furthering the policy, thumbs up.
DHS threatens to revoke Harvard's eligibility to host foreign students amid broader battle over university's autonomy.
Thumbs down. I don't like campus sort of thought. I don't like the fact that
I had trouble understanding that one. I'm sorry.
So it's DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security.
That's right.
Threatens to revoke Harvard's eligibility to host foreign students amid broader battle over universities' autonomy. And for the most part, I don't like the kind of effect and influence that's coming off of campuses right now. But I just don't see this as an area where the president should even be looking at all. So thumbs down.
All right, the DHS cancels federal neurodiversity workforce contract.
Thumbs up. Nothing against the neurodiverse. I think that when it comes to Department of Homeland Security, we should be hiring for one purpose and one purpose only. The very best minds who know what they're doing. So thumbs, did I give it up? Thumbs down. Thumbs up. What is it?
Thumbs up.
Whichever one applies
No,
to the thing I mean.
I had to look whether it was canceled. Yes, canceled, thumb up.
All right. The Trump administration plans to ask Congress to defund PBS and NPR.
2 thumbs up.
You like that one?
I like that one.
You got to get rid of them. They're so horrible.
Well, listen, I've never liked the idea that I have to compete with NPR and like they in the ratings and all that kind of stuff. I've never liked that idea. And then you'll see like a billboard or something for NPR. So the government is taking my money that I'm making for working for another radio station, and they're putting that money into billboards for the people that I'm competing with.
And they killed Grover.
Exactly.
What
now,
the heck?
They got rid of Sesame Street.
Now, I don't know what ratings do for them, and I don't even know why they ever put up billboards or whatever, because they don't need ratings, right? They're PBS, they're NPR, they don't need ratings. So, but let them need ratings. That's what I say. So 2 thumbs up on that.
And last but not least here, the Great Mississippi River tops the list of most endangered rivers amid all the Trump rollbacks here. The entire river is at risk.
Endangered rivers?
Okay,
yes,
well,
endangered river.
That's
I'm not joking.
Overhunting.
We got that's not a thumbs up, thumbs down. But what I will say, give me the headline again.
The Great Mississippi River tops list of most endangered rivers.
I'm going to give thumbs down.
Rollbacks.
I'm giving thumbs down to the story because it's just more hysteria about. There's enough real stuff going on.
The whole river's going to dry up thanks to Trump.
Before you know it, there'll be no. They'll call it the Mississippi Basin. Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 285 in Dunwoody.
Yeah, all due to this stalled tractor trailer still in 2 center lanes, 285 eastbound, the Interloop Chamblee Dunwoody Road, exit number 30. The ride is very slow back into Sandy Springs from Riverside Drive. You can take 400 south or 75 south to try to get to 85 northbound, but it's going to be very slow on both of those as well as alternates. Elsewhere, travel advisory continues by the airport. Crash, I should say, in 2 right lanes, 285 northbound, the Interloop Camp Creek Parkway exit 2, jammed up leaving I-85. Make your way over to 85 north, heading up past the airport as an alternate there. And a long-standing crash on Georgia 400, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, it's 400 northbound right at McFarland Parkway, exit 12. Left lane still blocked, and you can avoid those tough delays by taking Highway 9 as an alternate. And this report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. The Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is the best deal in fast food for a lot of reasons, some of which include a JBC, 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Topical.
I feel for you if you've been working from home.
Local.
They're suing the landlord. The lawsuit filed in Cobb County Superior
Getting
Court.
you through your
It's good
morning.
stuff for this show. It's good stuff for the radio station.
Mark Arrow.
That's about all I ask.
Mark Arrow.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwind.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers, but in my case, they brought unwanted pests. Just last week, I noticed the mosquitoes were taking over my backyard and the carpenter bees swarming my outdoor deck. I knew I needed help, so I called Arrow Exterminators. Ken, my Arrow team member, didn't just provide a solution. He gave me peace of mind with their Arrow Exterminators friendly and effective treatments. Arrow Exterminators has been a family-owned business for over 61 years, so they really treat you like part of the family. They even offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Plus, you can get a free home or business pest inspection to stay ahead of any pest problems. Thanks to Ken and Arrow Exterminators, my family can enjoy our backyard again. So don't wait for the pests to settle in. Take back your yard this spring. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. And when you do, be sure to tell them Belinda sent ya.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Car prices are expected to rise this summer. Do you wait or buy now? At Butler Lexus South Atlanta, there's no guesswork, just peace of mind. All in-stock Lexus vehicles are price locked, guaranteed not to go up. Visit Butler Lexus of South Atlanta or call 800-NEW-LEXUS. Experience the standard of amazing.
City of Hope. A place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Joe Salciha, host of the Stacking Benjamin Show. We are diving into what should be in your little emergency go bag. What goes into your financial go bag?
Passport, driver's license, social security card.
Cash, credit cards, my wallet.
The most important thing, your master password.
OG just gave us the guns. That's all he needs.
Meaning the bicep.
Come and get them. You never knew personal finance could be this fun. What's a big can of Colt 45 cost?
Stackers Anonymous. Is that about $3.50?
That's what
Dr. Pepper.
I go back. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
All right, so I was gonna end with a story about teen boys going to extreme lengths to be skinny like Timothy Chalamet. Can I ask a question? Is he really that good looking? Autumn, is he real? I know he's better looking than me, but I mean, is he really that good looking?
I don't think he's very good looking at all.
Oh, well, you like
Listen,
it.
You know I like a thick
you like,
so
yeah,
I'm
you
not,
like.
I'm not
yeah.
into it.
So, yeah, he's...
I'm going to break him in half.
It will be fun to watch him age, though, because what happens is these guys get older and usually they get all chunky.
I think he's adorable.
I'm not saying he's not adorable, but is he that good looking?
He can sing, though. He can
well,
sing.
Look, he's a talented dude. There's no doubt.
A lot of people can sing.
He may not be as talented as, he's perceived, but he's certainly a talented dude. And I know he's better looking than me, but he's got that...
a rat face.
Trying to pull off like a Parisian kind of look.
Yeah.
He?
Well, he is French. He's a dual citizen.
Chalamet. There it is.
Yeah, he's dual citizen.
It's Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah,
I thought it was just his lineage.
Tay and the Wind.
He was born here, though, wasn't he?
I think he was born in France. I'd have to double check, but he's a dual citizen. I know that.
Okay, well, I didn't realize that. I thought he just had the name I'm Von Hessler. I've never been to Germany. I've never talked to anybody in Germany. So there you go, kids. I guess what's happening is parents are starting to see that their kids are not taking in many calories and trying to be as skinny as Timothy Chalamet. The Von Hessler doctrine says, kids, don't do that. Now, what were you telling me about 420 Fest?
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'll be out there all weekend, and there's going to be a new stage.
What a surprise.
That was what he was telling you.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a new stage this year at Pullman Yards where it's completely solar powered. I'm really excited to see how this is going to work.
No.
It's not the main stage; it's one of the secondary stages.
Stages can be dangerous. When I was following Driving and Crying around for a few years, there's a few stages, especially the festivals. You find yourself on beaches. These stages are just kind of put up. I know there was one show where Driving had to do about an hour. I know Kevin was like in the back of his mind the whole time. He did not trust the stage. It did not seem like it was going to. And remember that thing that happened with Sugarland? They weren't on the stage when they happened. These kind of stages that you just sort of put up. But the solar thing, so that would freak me out. Like, okay, how is this built? Is it built exactly like other stages? What's the, and
I'm taking pictures.
Question is Elon Musk involved? Because you don't know it's going to be sunny, so it can't just be solar panels. There's got to be like one of these solar batteries, right? So where is that coming from? You know what? I think this is partially BS. There's something solar about it. It's like when Coldplay came through and then they announced we were totally carbon-free in our show at Mercedes-Benz. No, you were not. No, you were not. There's a phony baloney sort of certification society that says if you do this, that, and the other thing, it was carbon neutral. But you can't have, 50,000 people at a concert and say that you're carbon neutral. So I'm thinking this is kind of the same sort of thing. Some certified places, that's a solar stage. I guarantee you there's electricity somewhere.
Well, I'm out there all weekend. I'll be sure to take pictures. I'll ask for the details. I'll be an inquisitive reporter asking the questions on how it works.
High as a kite.
What's up, Chang? How you doing? Woo!
Like, are you the Easter bunny? You're out here. Hey, by the way, this is the only time that Easter and 420 are going to fall together until 2087. 2087.
Well, I'm not going to see that one. So
Jared might.
I'll enjoy that. You might. I'll enjoy this one. All right, that music's telling us two things. If I'm that old, can you imagine how grumpy I'll be?
They'll have drugs for that. You'll be
good.
That
music is telling us two things. Shut the hell up. Get the hell out. You know us. We do what we're told. Shelley Winter's up next with a great show for you. We'll be back tomorrow for one more of these this week. Start at 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us. Until then, continue on your journey. Do not piss off the genie.
656, Cool Ray Carey.